And we still have Becky, so that's good. All right. So where we left off, you guys had gone back to the watch barracks to get some rest. Yorick is in a cell beside Westra in the cells. The rest of you went to the barracks, right? To sleep in the barracks?
Yeah.
All right. So then, where we left off, you each wake up to the sounds of Knotside, which is the city that you're in. I'm going to go ahead and activate that, so that'll change. So Ben, that might take you a second for that to load up. It's not super big, but it'll take you guys a sec to get moved over. But you guys wake to the already bustling and moving town of Knotside. It's around 11 a.m. or so. There's a constant clopping of horse hooves and heavy boots on the cobblestones outside of the jail, essentially in the watch barracks where you guys are. Westra, through the cell's window, the barred windows up there, you can see the sky is still dim with the remnants of the clouds from the storm that's passing. But the sun is beginning to peek through in places. So you've got these big luminous god rays and out in all directions. In the cell beside you, Yorick yawns, looks over at you, indifferent. For the rest of you in the barracks there, rest was frequently interrupted by city watchmen coming and going, the clanking of metal plates and chain rustling as they donned their gear, their armor, and so on to head out to their
start wearing leather armor. Fucking loud.
They paid you a little
mind. A war inside this city unnecessary.
They are, as you know, dealing with riots right now, though, of the people that are addicted to the Red Claw ale, causing fights and so on. So many of them come back, just dead tired, just dripping from the cold rain, of course, just dropping their lanterns and their pikes and helmets and shit beside their bunks, and they're all snoring within minutes of hitting their cots. But others in the morning, especially, are getting up to go out to their shifts and so on. So there's just constant noise the entire time. Azra and Ryloth, obviously the barracks are a bit noisy and distracting for spell preparation, so obviously the cells where Westra and Yorick are quiet, so you guys can finish your spell preparations there. Change out your spells. Are you guys done with that? You need a minute to finish them?
I think I'm all right.
Okay. All right, so everybody's moved over. Drost, you were in the barracks as well, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Then you see Azra and Ryloth getting up to head back to the jail where Westra is, or at least last you saw her. You heading off with them?
Yeah.
Okay. Then when you guys are all kind of collected back in there, Yorick is yawning, kind of giving you guys all he hasn't said a word, just kind of staring at you all with disdain. Appear to be suspicious. They even seem to be angry at you. It doesn't appear like an angry look as much as it is just an annoyance. What are you guys doing?
All right. So what are we? You guys, we all going to figure out. We got to find that book, the copies, or whatever. We got to go to where their hideout is.
Well,
quick question. Did you guys chain up or gag Yorick at all? He was sleeping.
They tied him. Oh no, that's when they were carrying him. They tied him.
Yeah. But asleep in the cell, had you gagged him or let him, just be in the cell by himself?
I think we gave that whatever, once he was in the cell, that responsibility to the leader there.
Well, he left. You guys are in there by yourselves. I mean, the watch have come and gone lots of times. Callias is not there with you. Callias is the watch captain.
All right.
So Westra was in the cell next to him the whole time, so it would have been up to you guys.
I would not have.
Ungagged. But if he started talking in the middle of the night and shit, I probably would have gagged him.
Okay. Well, as far as all right. He was quiet most of the night. There were some murmurs, maybe dreams, you don't know, that woke you up, just being a bit of a light sleeper anyway. But apart from that, he was pretty much silent. But he's woken up when you did, kind of pushed himself up against the wall and is just back against the wall, still laying on the cot. Just kind of eyeing all of you, somewhat annoying, certainly put upon, but not otherwise aggressive toward you.
Right, so I think we should go probably resupply before we head out.
Yorick kind of dismissively glances your direction. He says, it's real hot up there, so you might want to bring a lot of water. Real hot.
Yeah.
Real hot?
I mean, would we know it's real hot? Because or he's talking about where we're going.
Westra knows the area, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a
I
volcano.
mean, he told you the anger broke. It is the big. It's the peak. It's the largest one in the little area of what's called the Bellows. The range of mountains called the Bellows, and Angerbrook is the volcano there.
Ah, that's right, the volcano. Fucking volcano. Yeah, just go and steal my book, you little fucker.
You're that. He says to Ryloth, you're that senile that you don't even remember that there's a volcano north of town here, but you still remember this book, huh?
Yeah, I remember how to kick your ass, didn't I? Huh?
No, I'm just gonna rattle his fucking the bars with my staff.
All right, let's go get some horses. And how far away are we going, anyways?
You still have your horses. Well, it's only 40, 50 miles. It'll take you like 8 hours
All right.
on horseback. Which you guys still have your horses that you left at the stables out of town. But if you're going to be taking Yorick, you don't have enough horses for that unless it's going to be thrown over somebody's and so on. But as you
one more horse.
well, Fox.
I said we'd have to get one more horse, and I'm just gonna look at Wisteria and Westra. Sorry.
You keep calling her a poisonous flower.
And I'm gonna just say I'm gonna go buy some potions. Want something?
Yeah, actually, I think I'm gonna join you. Go look at those potions.
Okay.
Yorick looks at you. Says, "You're just leaving me here?"
Yeah, we'll be back for you in a little bit.
He kind of scowls.
I'm just gonna stay with Yorick. I don't think I have a horse though.
So they have. Okay, I guess I'll put it to you.
Unless they have an extra horse to ride.
They do. There's Paige, who you hopped on previously to get here, but she's a draft horse. She's intended for throwing a bounty over. Like that's why she's a big horse like that, is for throwing multiple. They've got 3 people they're trying to take back to town. They throw all 3 on the back of Paige, who's a much bigger horse. She's not really
Why
right.
don't I ride Paige and throw him on the back of it?
Fine with me. It won't be comfortable for him, but I don't really care.
No, he's fuck that. It's fine.
As you guys are then for Westra and Azra getting ready to leave, what's Dross doing, G?
Ryloth is going to stay with the dude that we captured, and I'm going to go stock up on some daggers because I only grabbed I think 2 of those 6 that I threw. I forgot to grab.
I assume that you picked them all back up. I mean, especially.
I mentioned it. I didn't say that, so I didn't know if that'd be fair.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to hold that against you. Yeah, no, I assume you picked them all up. Is your microphone on top of your head?
Yeah, sorry, I moved it back.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, one of them was in Westra's ribs, so I assumed you picked that one.
Yeah, well,
up.
that one I'm sure I found.
No, that
I
was
took that out and tossed it to him.
Yeah, she tossed it back to him.
Well, she kicked it across the ground towards it. Yeah, but as far as I meant to do this too. This really minor, but I thought it was kind of cool. I know Fox would get a kick out of it. So as far as the getting ready then, so Drost is staying, Rayloth is staying?
Yeah, I'll stay, and I'm just going to kind of keep an eye on the door. So.
Because REI would be Ray, not Rye. So I don't know that I'll ever get used to that. So just advanced all the apologies necessary for how many times I'll mispronounce that.
Just
It's
change it to
pronounced
Hawaii.
Rylaloth. It's silent. It's actually just Roth.
It's not even
The middle
silent.
4 letters are silent. It's just Roth. That's how it's pronounced.
What were you saying, G?
Well, I was just saying we can just change the spelling of his name to RYE. Then it'd definitely be Ryloth.
Yeah, like rye bread.
Yeah, and Jerry Seinfeld could steal his name and run away with it.
Silly Ryloth. As you are, as Westra and Azra are getting ready to leave, though, or just heading out the front of the watch barracks, Callias does come rolling in. I see you've managed to wake up finally, huh?
Yeah, we're gonna go grab some supplies real quick before we head out.
You coming with us?
He stops and looks at you. He said, I thought that was the plan, right?
Ah.
It's up to you. I mean, I'll
I don't
trust you
know,
with
man. I can't remember. It's like we talked about it yesterday. For me, it feels like a week ago. You know.
He's got his helmet off and is under an arm. He says, I was planning on it, but it's there's a lot to be taken care of here, so really I'll leave it up to you. I'll trust you with York to bring him back, or at least make sure that he doesn't survive the encounter, otherwise he kind of glares it through the cell bars. But I can go with
to have you.
All right. Well, as you might imagine, it's going to be extremely hot up there, so you're going to want to be prepared for that. So what supplies you're after, make sure you bring enough water. Maybe he looks over the group. I guess none of you really wear this kind of stuff, and he rattles his fist against his chest where his plate armor is. But some cooler clothing would probably be in order. Those heavy woolen cloaks are not going to do much good up that way.
Yeah, Wester's not changing out of her chainmail.
I mean, I've got like a mithril, which is pretty light. So
It's the weight isn't the concern. It's the trapping of heat that's the concern. That metal's going to get real hot, and it's going to be right against trapping all that heat in.
well, luckily I wear my big cloak around it, so
That'll definitely help.
I'm trying to keep myself insulated.
You'll overheat, get heat stroke, and then pass out on us.
And he's old. We'll die from it.
Yeah.
The good news is, I believe. What's funny is I'm trying to think if I could use my frostbite spell, which is
On yourself.
yeah, because it's only within creature.
You can
That's
target
cool damage.
like anything that says creature. You can target yourself with it.
Yeah, but it would do damage as opposed to something. I was seeing if I could cast it on an object, but it doesn't really appear to.
Oh, you were thinking cast it on your armor or something?
Something like that.
He says, "Well, I'll meet you all here. I imagine you all have mounts to get us up the way. It's going to be a long trip otherwise."
You might have to get yourself a horse, but we have mounts for the rest of us.
Yeah, I've get that taken care of. We've got mounts for the watch. Won't be a problem.
All right.
Do you have one for that bastard?
We have a horse we can throw him over.
All right, that'll do. I'll bring a second just in case. So we'll have a spare. So I imagine you just have one for each of you then, right?
Yes.
All right, I'll grab two then. One for me, one for him. Maybe we'll just tie him to the horse so that he can't try to make a break for it. And meet you back here when you're ready.
Sounds like a plan.
He steps out of the way so you can go through. He was kind of in the doorway. So what are you guys doing?
I want to find like a magic shop or a potion shop.
Okay. Looking around, I mean, the town is pretty. The streets are just soaked, but it's got that. It's like that where the streets and everything, every surface is wet, but there's a bright sun reflecting off of it, so it's almost eye blinding. But it's not hard to find. The market style district. It's not a big city, but you can easily follow the throng of people heading that direction. Make your way out. There's kind of a big courtyard area. With a bunch of small tents type of thing. What's the word I'm looking for? Like awnings, basically. Like a bazaar kind of a thing. And there's one in front of a shop that has this kind of vague greenish smoke that's coming up out of the chimney right behind it. But there's a probably mid-50s or so man, a little bit portly, dark hair and beard with some white in it, standing out front of that, who is still barking at people that are walking by. Nobody seems to be stopping, but his table in front of him is covered in small little colored vials of probably arcane or otherwise uses.
And the mountain we're going to, it's the Angerbrook.
Yeah, Angerbrook, is the name. In the Bellows.
So I'm just gonna go up to him and just be like, "So, what sort of supplies do you sell here? Say I was making a trip to the Angerbrooks."
Well, if you're heading up that way, I mean, one, you're gonna, want some things to chill you off, and he grabs a little vial and lifts it up, and it's kind of this ugly greenish bluish color, like swamp water almost. He says, "This right here this will do the trick. You're gonna want a whole lot of this."
And what exactly is that?
It's a concoction of my own make that you drink this and you won't really have to deal with the heat so much. You'll feel nice and cool. Now, it won't stop you from fire or anything like that. Keep that in mind. But as long as you keep your hands out of the lava flows, you'll be all right.
And how long does it last?
Depends on how much you drink, really. But if you were to take this whole vial, and he kind of shakes a little bit, and you see as he shakes it back and forth, it kind of glimmers a little bit inside the bottle. This whole vial probably gets you 2-3 hours.
What's in it?
Miss, one more time.
What's in it?
He stares at you extremely suspiciously, and is clearly very. He's trying to analyze the odd shapes off of your back and your ears. Go ahead and give me a. I guess go ahead. Nothing, no roll yet needed. All right, go ahead.
And how much for one of these bottles?
He looks back at you. He's still kind of squinting a little bit at Azra standing nearby. Each of these.
I'm loving Fat Doug Benson here, trying to sell us.
That's funny.
So yeah, he's high as shit right now.
What he's trying to sell are munchies of some kind.
Oh, fuck.
What, Becky?
Oh, I didn't say anything. I just asked him how much the bottle was.
Oh, each of these 50 gold. It's
How many
pricey.
do you
You're gonna want them. I've got, and he looks kind of down at the underneath the table that he's got all this stuff on. I've got, and he kicks it a little bit. 3 more, so 4 of them total. But if your trip's gonna be long, I mean, I can make some more. You come back in a couple days.
Yeah, that's not going to work. So if I take half of this bottle, it'll last me, what, like an hour?
I mean, it's as much as you drink. The more you drink, the longer it'll last. Is it just any kind of? There's a little. Give me an insight check, both of you. He kind of glares a little bit, and it seems vaguely suspicious. He says, "Just the two of you heading up there."
No.
Okay, click it once and it goes. Gotcha. I'm used to having double click stuff.
Yeah, that's okay. We'll get some adaptation. With the 24, generally, if you multi-click stuff, you usually just take the first roll. So with the 24, that seems extremely suspicious, especially because he kept eyeing you. Like he's trying to figure out what species you might be.
I also kind of asked what was in it, and he didn't really answer, so I didn't
You
go
flat
for
out
it.
actually looked back to Westra.
What else do you have?
Oh, I've got just about anything you might be looking for. I mean, I don't like you see all of these vials here, sure, but if you're looking for tack and harness and ropes, and I've got all of that. I've got the general supply goods. If you're looking for armor, I can get you in touch with someone of that sort. Really, anything you need, I can make sure we find it for you for a finder's fee, of course.
Regular water and health potions along with stuff to make them.
He looks, his eyes kind of dart back over to you, and he squints a little bit again. Regular water? I mean, he kind of looks over in the direction of where the river is, the estuary that leads out towards the ocean. This is a port city, you realize. I mean, I'll go get you some, and I'll be happy to sell it to you, but most people don't usually buy water. It's in frequent supply enough that generally people don't need that.
How about the health potions?
Oh, I've got plenty of those. He kind of kicks the table with his knee, and the bottles jiggle around a little bit.
And how much for your health potions?
75 gold.
Okay. Does that seem high for health
Throughout
potions?
your below your passive, it is a little bit high. Generally, they'd be like 50 to 60, depending on where. But it seemed like he's trying to overcharge a little bit. That would definitely you would know how much health potions generally would be in this area. So,
Right. Looking around, are there any other shops that look like they're selling potions?
not here in this courtyard. He seems to be going this, at least out here with these anyways. Plus the shop behind him, like I said, that smoke that's coming out of it, you gather it's probably an apothecary of some kind.
Does the shop look like his shop? And he's just selling stuff out front?
He's right next to the door. He's right next to the front door, standing up front of him with his awning and stuff on his table. So it's probably his.
Well, I'd like to buy some of your health potions, but I'm not sure I want to spend that much money on something that'll keep me alive for 5 minutes.
Intimidation.
You're gonna punch him until he sells them to you for a better price. This is more than a fair price, really. And if they keep you alive for 5 minutes, maybe you should seek another good line of work.
Yeah, no, see, I like my line of work, and I know how much these should be.
Give me a persuasion check. Well, yeah, you're not really. I mean, if you're trying to intimidate, you're gonna have to try a little harder because that wasn't very intimidating. But persuasion.
Oh dear lord!
Takes of one. He says, "Miss, I don't mean to suggest that you are competent at your job, but little ladies such as you probably should be traveling to volcanoes on their own."
Did he just say little ladies?
To the two of you, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna take out Q and just kind of hold him up to him and be like, "Listen here, asshole.
Take
You
out
call
what?
me a little lady again, Q. You call me little lady again, and I'm gonna make sure I find a bounty on your head. Understood?"
Especially for a human man, he's only like 5.5 feet tall. He's pretty short. So if he's looking like you're kind of looking down towards him anyway. To begin with, and for that very dismissive gesture was certainly something that was intended to rile you up. It sounds like he just grins very like he wasn't scared by that necessarily. Go ahead and roll an intimidation check. Hang on, you got a 4 intimidation or a +1. Oh, it's because it's your strength modifier, not charisma. So what is your strength mod?
Strength is +4.
That sounds right. Something like that, yeah. So it would be, what did you roll, a 1? No, it would have been you rolled a 4. All right, and your would be +7. Okay, so that's better. All right, so it was an 11. Still doesn't, he kind of grins up at you. He does not seem to be all that concerned with your threat. He says, "Miss, please just put that away. You see all of these people around. Do you really want the City Watch to come and take you in?"
You don't want to hurt yourself,
Yeah.
lady.
See, now that's funny because I'm working with the City Watch, so I
Well,
doubt
then-
they do jack shit.
Maybe you should head on back and ask them to give you something lighter, something a little less, dangerous. Because I don't want you to nick an artery or something when you're putting that thing away.
Let me ask you something. You ever heard of the Rose and Thorn? You know, that nice bounty hunting guild that goes after shit that the City Watch usually won't?
Afraid I haven't.
Oh, well then no wonder you're a dumbass. And I'm just gonna turn around and walk away and go find somewhere else.
He says, "You come back now if you decide you need some of these." He
Yeah,
kinda
I don't think so.
wiggles. You hear the glass bottles jingle again. Azra, what are you doing?
I'm going to follow her and then try and help find a different place to buy stuff. Because I also want to buy some materials to try and learn to make the potions, so that way we could just make them on the road.
That's not the kind of thing you could do while traveling. You'd have to be stopped because you have to cook them, you have to brew it.
Well, yeah, no, but while we're stopped on the road, when we stop at night, I'd be able to start them, etc., etc. So it's not we're traveling that I make them, but you get what I mean.
Sure. Yeah, the volcano is like half a day. It's like 8 hours away. So with the horses, so depending on what time you leave, you probably get there at night. So you might have a night up in the mountains, maybe, depending on what time you get out of here. What are Drost and Ryloth doing back at the watch?
Well, I'm gonna be talking to him. All right, man. We need to get you into some less warm clothes. All right, York. You're gonna be on this hot fucking ride, and we're gonna have to get you ready for it. So you got an undershirt and some shorts under that stuff, or what?
You're awfully concerned with my health, old man. I think you might be more worried about your own.
Well, I don't want you dying before this whole thing gets taken care of. Don't you think you'd be more comfortable?
I'm comforted by Ranthred's grace. I'm really not concerned with the heat up there.
All right,
I've been there
all
multiple times.
So, listen, I don't want us to have to, hurt any more of your men if we don't have to. I apologize for that before, but, we were kind of getting attacked around corners, and, that's pretty much just how it ends up sometimes. So, What are we in for when we get to this base of yours? Are your men gonna be okay when we come up with you in tow?
Give me a perception check with disadvantage.
My perception's not that. Oh, actually, it is pretty good. Oops, I'll just roll it twice.
16 then? All right.
Mhm.
His eyes were downcast when you started talking about his men, and he didn't look back up, but there was a slight twinge maybe like his chin, like the muscles around his mouth, that you can't quite place what it would mean, but he did react when you mentioned specifically his men, taking him to how his men might react when you get up there. And then still looking down, doesn't look up. Oh, gee.
I was just going to say, can I roll an insight on his reaction when talking about the men to see if I can understand what his connection to the men is, why he feels like he has to take care of all of them so much?
I don't think he said
what's the
anything.
reason kind of thing,
He didn't specify anything there. Go ahead and give me an insight to try to just read his facial expression, but roll it with disadvantage.
Hey, you! Answer me!
He's still looking down, like he kind of.
We don't really do not answer old people.
He says, "My men are not really anything you need to be too concerned about when we get there. There's much worse things to bother yourselves with."
All right, well, what are those things? Because I'm pretty sure if you're just round the back of this horse tied up, you're not going to want us to get, in trouble. And I mean, it's not a good place for you either. So why don't you?
He chuckles when you say that. He says, "You're not going to want to leave me tied up when we get there. It's going to be in your best interest to make sure that I am fully capable of keeping everybody safe."
All right, well, listen. If we don't know what was there, you gotta tell us. Convince me to help you. Help me help you, Yorak. Okay? Tell me what's there.
Did it drop you out? Hang on one sec, Justin.
No, I reloaded it because when I was trying to click on my thing to get the character sheet up, it wasn't responding, so I was guessing it got lagged or something, so I was just reloading the page.
Okay, no problem. I just saw you drop out, and I hadn't seen your insight check yet, so I just wanted to make sure. He says, the occupants of the volcano up there aren't the friendly type. My men and I, we have an arrangement with them, so they let us be. But although small, they are a dangerous lot, and you're going to need my word and my face to get you through that place. So if it looks like I'm under duress, they're not going to let us in.
What kind of danger? Oh, so like they're more or less the gatekeepers to this mountain that we're going to, huh?
He shrugs.
All right. Well, tell you what, I'll talk to the other people about it and we'll think about it. But you might want to be. I mean, have you ever heard the term human shield? Like, has that ever come up to you before? I'm just wondering. I'm just saying, it's not the greatest thing, I'm sure.
I made a deal, and I'll keep to the terms. You let me bring back one of my men. It's important to me, and I'll keep to my word.
All right, I would like to do an insight check on that.
Sure, go ahead.
It's not letting me bring up the character sheet when I click on
Motherfuckers!
any of the names, actually. So
Natural one. All right.
Wait. It rolled twice. Oh, because I double clicked. The first one was 50.
You double clicked it. Yeah, but it was still with disadvantage.
Was it?
Yeah.
Farts.
Yeah, your social skills against him at the moment. You guys don't know this guy at all. This would be a difficult situation to try to read on because he is under duress. This isn't a friend or a neutral interaction.
And
man, I wish Pogo was here to just intimidate the shit out of him.
What was that?
I said unless I was there to read his thoughts, you can't really get a good grasp.
Yeah, detect thoughts. It's not the same as. But you could. Yeah, detect thoughts. Sorry, not like a charm or anything. You can still see the chat rolls, right? So if it pops up in the chat, it still shows up for you.
Rayloth rolled a 4, then an end of 15, and then a 25 or something, right? Perception.
Well, you figured that out. I gotta go. I'll take a quick break. I'll be right back.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna roll it for you then, G. And then as long as you can see the chat, then you can still say what you're doing, and I'll just roll it for you on my side. Okay.
Works for me.
All right.
Don't forget disadvantage.
I did forget actually. So that would have been 23. An 11. With the 11 instead, you're not quite sure. He did definitely react about how his men might respond, but as for reading his connection to them, you have no way to piece that together just yet, based on his reactions. All right, then we'll bounce over, Justin's. Are you doing anything else, G? Or are you just trying to analyze that? You haven't said anything to him yet. Are you going to try to talk to him?
I was actually just going to... He probably won't even tell me, but I was going to ask him how much money he's making off of running that Red Claw.
You see the corners of his... Yeah, you see the corners of his mouth turn up. We're making a pretty penny. It's risky, it's dangerous, and we've lost more than a couple, but, same with the business of you chasing us down and murdering my men in the streets. They know the price of this business, and it's been lucrative.
Well, that's good. I mean, do you guys have any idea what the hell it's doing to those people? They look like fucking zombies out there.
He shrugs. He says, as much coin as it's bringing in, if they choose to do this with their lives, so be it. That's on them. That's not on me.
Can't disagree with that. Fair enough.
He looks at you. I'm going to give him a chance to see if he... Okay. All right. You look like the type that enjoys having some coins jingling in your pocket, right?
Yeah. Gold has a way of talking.
Might you, once all this is over, so assuming that maybe the group appreciates my gifts to this adventure, might you be interested in coming to work for me, maybe?
Yeah, well, I'm sure we could at least sit down and have a drink when you're, not tied up and all that good stuff. Discuss a few things. I'm an open-minded guy.
There'd be a lot of money in it for you.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to talk then. Let's go take care of this stuff first, though.
Callias is outside, by the way. The watch captain. He's back outside. So you're not saying, yeah, I'll go interview with this known gang leader while the watch captain is right next to you. All right. Then with that, then we will hop back over to Fox and
I was just also gonna. Do you guys have some extra skins that we can hold some water in? Some extra watertight bottles.
You went out to Callias?
Captain of the guard here.
Yeah, we've got plenty. I imagine you would, need the extra storage on the way anyway. So the horse that we'll throw that bastard on, I'll make sure is loaded up with plenty of skins.
Perfect.
It's only, it'll only take us the day to get there, but we're going to need, a few days worth of water. So we'll make sure that we've got plenty.
Fantastic.
All right, let's hop over.
He said he didn't need any either because he's got the blessing of. He's fine.
He said ran thread, by the way.
Yeah,
I didn't really.
Ooh, moving words.
I didn't realize to pop up in that box, but yeah. All right, let's hop over to Westra and Azra. In the kind of bizarre area, this little courtyard in the main market. Looking around, you don't see any other. Westra specifically, probably Azra too, actually to an extent, would know to look for on-colored smoke often in an apothecary coming out of a chimney. Looking around, you don't see any other, anything else that stands out as an apothecary, at least. But there are plenty of merchant stalls and businesses and stuff around. So, what are you guys doing?
Would I know of any magic shops that sell actual magic items that don't necessarily make them?
You've been through Knotside plenty of times. You know that there is a sage, not an actual arcanist himself, but a sage. A guy, a collector, and a kind of a guy that you come to occasionally for knowledge specifically about things. He's not like a mage of any kind, but somebody that knows a lot about certain creatures and that kind of stuff. Oh, I didn't realize you could do that too. It popped up below the text box though, so that might be a bug.
I think if I typed in here.
It could be that the image is too big because your image is behind the text box.
Yeah, I saw that.
What's up, homies?
You could change it to where your text box is behind it or on top of it, which if you put it below, it'll just go put behind. But if you change the setting to put it on top, it'll go on top.
Yeah, under the theater setting.
I haven't even looked at those. I've only looked at it from the NPC side. That's cool. So anyways, there's a sage here in town, but it's been a few months since the last time you saw him. But apart from that, you don't know of anybody. Like he's a collector, so he might have the kind of things you're looking for. You don't know, but that would be about it. What you're asking for, that kind of a shop, you don't really find in cities of this size. You pretty much got to be in a big city like in Mist, because they're too much of a they're a controlled item often, so you don't usually see them outside of places with a big military presence, especially inside the Empire.
Okay, right-clicking turns it on and off once you have the theater going.
Okay.
Go pay him a visit, I guess.
What's that?
I said we'll go pay him a visit.
All right. It is. There's kind of his place is a parapeted tower, like the middle of town here. It's not not a big old wizard's tower. It's basically like 3 stories ish. In fact, on the picture there, about like that tower kind of thing that you see there on the map. His name's Eridolf, and you head up to the place. There's this big fenced garden around the front of it. And you notice that the fence is locked, like the little gate for the fence. It's not like it's only 3 feet tall. Imagine like a white picket fence with like a gate in front of it, in front of a house, that kind of thing, but it's locked.
Do I know how to is it normally locked?
It's literally you could just reach over and unlock it. It's just odd. You've never seen it locked before, and you've been here probably half a dozen times.
Right. I'm gonna unlock it.
Okay. You reach down. It's just a little latch. You unlock it. As soon as the gate starts to swing open, it makes this kind of noisy, spring opening sound, and you hear barking coming from around the back of the tower, like around the back of the house area that the tower's up out of.
Does he have a dog like normally?
Not that you've seen. You're not close friends with him. It's basically a business transaction when you come here. You basically pay him for information. But, I mean, you've been here half a dozen times. You've never seen a dog before.
Right, I'm just going to take Hugh out and just kind of like hold him at my side and just walk around the back.
You pull your...
what's taking that dog out?
I'll be right back, guys. Okay, a second.
Right. You head on through. The barking intensifies because you have to push this spring open, and as soon as you walk through, Azra, are you going through as well?
I'm gonna go with her and make sure that Mario is safe on my shoulder from the dog.
Okay. I forgot to mention that, by the way. So Maru, right? Maru.
Yeah.
Okay. Azra has a kind of spectral bat flapping around her head, flapping around or landing on her occasionally. They can stand upright as well, depending on the species. We'll just say that it can stand upright, so that it's not having to like hang off of your like arm or something to hang upside down.
Oh yeah, you can just like hang out on my shoulder.
Right. You hear the barking from around the back of it though, and it gets louder, and then another dog, a second vocal barking of a different dog, 2 different dogs at least, barking from around the back of the place as you walk through, and then the springs pull the gate shut and it kind of snaps shut behind you.
Alright, I'm gonna go just kind of knock on the front door and call out to him, see if he's there.
Okay.
See if he answers.
Okay. The barking gets louder, and there's no other response.
Is there a way to get around to the back where the barking is?
Yeah, the garden goes all the way around the outside. If there's a fence that goes around the whole outside of the building, you can just walk right back.
Alright, I'm gonna walk back.
Okay. As we're going with?
Yep.
Okay. You make your way around the back of the kind of rounded part of this building, basically the base of the tower. And as soon as you make it around towards what would be directly the opposite side, where like where a back door would be if there was one, you see dogs with two different dogs whose muzzles are down and gnawing at something, and both immediately as you come around the corner, turn up and look at you, face covered in blood. You see laying there in the beneath them is a body of some kind. It does look to be probably Eridolf.
Ah, son of a bitch.
The dogs start to growl as you're somewhat near.
Yeah, I'm...
Give me a perception check. You do notice that both of you actually notice that the Eridolf is laying kind of on his side. The corpse is kind of on its side facing you, and the belly is very distended. The face is too mauled and too damaged to get too many details on, but he does kind of otherwise resemble, as you knew, the shape and size, let's say, of Erdolf. But the belly really sticks out a lot, and after 9 hours previous in the tavern, you would notice that kind of distinct distended belly on the addicted drinkers that were in the tavern.
Right. Do I know, does he live alone?
You've never seen anybody else here.
Okay. Is there a back door?
No. The only one that you know of anyways to get in there is that front door.
Okay, so I don't see a door back here at all?
No. Nope. You're just basically around the back of the tower. There's a little house that sticks out of the side of the tower, and then the tower itself is made of stone, and there's nothing around the back of it. It's just a smooth circle around the back.
Right. Are we in like a super populated area? Like there's people walking around?
It's kind of the center of town, so I mean, there's people walking all around. The fence is a little bit tall back here, so it doesn't seem like anybody has maybe noticed what's going on here. But as far as the front, yeah, like it's definitely visible. What were you saying, G?
Oh, sorry, I was just laughing. Just trying to do sneaky shit. That's what I'd be doing.
Shut up. Wester can't sneak. She wears a fucking chainmail. And the front of the house is facing out towards the street, I'm assuming.
Yep, right over that 3-foot fence, the picket fence that you walk through.
Great. I'm just gonna walk up, grab the handle, and just kind of like shoulder check the door.
You grab the handle and smack the door, making a rattling sound because there's a bunch of glass inside the door, window inside the door. Rattles all. You immediately draw some eyes from passersby. They don't otherwise stop, but they do look in your direction kind of oddly. But the door does not open. It appears to be locked. In fact, actually, more than that, it doesn't even shake slightly. Like you would have expected it to give slightly because it is just a wooden door, but there was no give at all.
Takes a lock.
While she does that, I'm going to stand in front of her facing the road with my arms crossed.
Okay. Azra, you kneel down to the doorknob to get ready to pick it, and there's no hole in the door. There's no lock on the door as far as you can tell.
Okay, so it's magically locked.
That is the impression that after Westra smacking the door and not moving at all, and then you seeing there no doorknob, you gather it's probably been locked with some sort of magic, yeah.
Great. Were there any windows in the back of the house?
No, it's just stone. It's smooth stone the whole way around.
Jesus Christ, are there any windows anywhere?
There's 2 windows in the front of the building. There's one on either side. You guys walked up like a small porch, kind of, but there are curtains pulled in front of the windows.
Hey, can I see if there's a lock on one of the windows?
They don't look like they open. No lock necessarily, but they don't look like they open.
Okay,
Without,
I'm going to take Shatter Spike,
okay.
and I'm going to smash the fucking window.
Okay.
Is it kind of break the ice? But okay.
You guys have little diamond cutter things from fucking 90s heist movies? Okay. Then you very carefully set Hugh down and pull Shatter Spike out of the haversack over your shoulder, and very trying to be as cautious as possible. Tap the window with it, immediately causing the glass to erupt in shards all around you until they collapse down at your feet. It does make a ton of noise. Give me there's really not much you could do to prevent this, but as far as being as careful as you can, give me a flat dex check with disadvantage.
Okay, so I hit the disadvantage button on the side first?
Down at the bottom right next to the roll button, you click dis,
Okay, yeah.
and then make your roll.
Alright, and then dex.
I think that will roll it with disadvantage. We'll double check. I'm pretty sure that's how you do it. But it might just be, clicking the d20 twice, and then we'll do the modifier manually if we need to. Doesn't matter, though. Go ahead and do it. We'll just roll it twice if we have to.
Right, and...
Oh, that's right. Hang on. No. So what it is then is in your sheet you hold shift for advantage, and I think it was control for disadvantage.
Alright, so control, and then just hit the dexterity?
Yeah. There you go. Well, it was a 1 with disadvantage anyways. So that only rolled it once, so no matter what, you're not going to roll worse than a 1 again. just a cacophony of glass breaking noise. Immediately, you turn over your shoulder and look, as you were already watching this direction, and people all around have
Run
stopped.
off across town. Did someone just break some glass? I think someone's breaking in somewhere.
They all kind of immediately stop. You see one, a woman that was holding a bag of some kind with some goods from the market in it, drops them on the ground, just surprised by the glass break, and then turns and looks in your direction. And we'll come back to you guys in just a second. Back over to Drost and Ryloth at the watch barracks. What do you guys do?
Fuck, everyone's taking so long. I'm ready to. I mean, I'm old. We're ready to keep going at like 5:30 in the morning.
It's been probably 40 minutes at this point that they've been going.
All right, so we're going to your hideout. How do you like it there, Mark?
How do you like it there?
Is it a fun place? You guys, are there any? Is it just all guys, or do you have women there? Is it like families?
Give me an insight check for both Drost and Ryloth. Oh, I guess I gotta roll. Yeah, I'll roll.
That's not gonna do it.
You guys are all rolling really awful today.
I'm just trying to make conversation.
Advantage. Trying to make your what?
Just making conversation.
Yeah. When you asked Ryloth, you didn't pick up on this at all, but when you asked how he likes his hideout up there, there was a little bit of a grin there that seemed suspicious to you, specifically to Drost. That's it. For Ryloth, and he doesn't answer your question. And then when you ask about there being women there, he says there are females there. I wouldn't necessarily call them women. Drost, you're not sure that you believe that there's a hideout there.
Okay.
The grin, the way that he grins specifically about liking the hideout or not, that's the part that seems suspicious about whether there's a hideout or not. Maybe he wasn't telling the truth about that.
Okay.
What spells do I have? Nah. Yeah, I'm not gonna worry about it. Let's see. What would Ryloth be doing? I'm gonna ask.
Hey, Captain of the Guard, whose name I don't remember because I'm old. Is it just you coming with us, or are you bringing your boys for backup, or are they all busy?
He looks over. He's outside, so he's basically outside the front door, and you're kind of shouting to him through, because you're
Well, I mean, I can walk closer.
If you're walking out there, okay, that's.
I can walk. Yeah, all right.
He kind of turns. He turns. He says, "No, I can't spare too many men as it is. It's hard enough trying to quell all of the fighting going on between all of the people enamored with the first place."
You heard of anything weird happening up at this hill we're going to? It sounds like there might be something besides just bandits up there.
We tried to follow the last group when they were leaving town of monks, and you remember, of course, that they found out.
They disguise as monks and then sell the white cloth to all the crazy ladies, and then they lose their clothes.
Red cloth, yeah. It's
They're
red
drunk
cloth.
off the white cloth.
But
Classy business.
We followed them as far as we could up the way, but they lost us before we got too far up there. Here's the label, by the way. There you go. I think that's
No.
Yep, cool.
No
Told you how
weird
that worked.
stories.
100% drinkable alcohol. Contains no undrinkable alcohol. Get you drunk.
Purest ingredients get you drunk.
Both natural and non-natural ingredients.
He says, though, as far as suspicious things on the mountain, not that we'd heard. I mean, they kind of went that direction, so we gathered they were probably up there just because that would be, the most dangerous place they could potentially hold up and not be easily sought out and rooted out of, some cave here in the mountains or something. So we gathered that might have been the case, but beyond that, nothing suspicious necessarily.
I'm gonna walk outside, like a little outside of so I can still see them, so they're still within eyesight, but I don't want them to be able to hear me. And I'm gonna go ahead.
You mean Callias?
So not Claes. Oh, it's on the other side now. Drost,
Okay.
and Yorick.
And York. Okay, they're
Yeah, so-
inside. They're inside at the cells, and then there's like a small office, which is where Callias is standing outside of.
I'm gonna go to where they wouldn't be able to. They wouldn't be able to hear me, and I'm gonna kind of point to Drost, and I'm gonna use message.
Okay.
And
Drost.
Or Drost.
Yeah. Okay.
Is there a limit on how much I can send? I don't think with message is as much as I want.
I think sending is 25 words. Message, I think you can just wait. Is that right?
Yeah, message is unlimited as long as, but I have to be able to see them and I have to point at them. So I'm
Oh, that's right. Sending is long range, and Drost is
awkwardly I'm gonna try to point like inconspicuously, and I'm just gonna kind of whisper into my hand to Drost. Hey, I got an idea. Maybe you pretend that you're a sneaky guy. Why don't you pretend like while you're alone with him, maybe you'll join his band. If he's all over, maybe he'll reveal a little bit more information to you. You know. Don't respond to this out loud.
Yeah, I'm actually not even gonna look his way or anything like that. So that way York doesn't see me even looking over towards Ryloth. But yes, I did catch that message. Not that not that I'm responding, but yeah.
Yeah. Just gonna keep standing over here and hang out.
Okay. So you're still hanging out outside. What are you doing? Gee.
So it's is anybody else in there with us right now? Is Callias inside or is he outside still?
He's outside. It's just you and Yorick in there right now.
Okay. Then I'll ask him. So what kind of stuff do you guys do besides running moonshine there, or ale?
He grins. He says, "I think you know the kind of work we do. You don't need to play dumb. Quickest way to earn coin, right?"
Yeah, pretty much. Well, that sounds like a pretty good opportunity. After we're done with this, we have to come by and see you guys.
He kind of grins. He says, I think we could make an amenable arrangement for the both of us. Make you plenty of money, kind of backfill some of the ranks that you have cost us.
Yeah, I guess it's only fair, huh?
Be a good opportunity.
Yeah, pretty good at what I do, so I'm sure it'd be a mutually beneficial relationship.
What is it you do?
I'm good at hurting people, I guess you could say.
And you fell in with that lady?
Yeah, well, I get to maybe not hurt him as much as I want to, but I still get to beat him up and I get paid for it now. So, I mean, trying to get the best of both worlds out of it.
Oh, I don't see how that's all that different from what we do. We beat him up and get paid for it.
Yeah, no, I guess maybe we are pretty similar, huh?
You see his eyes kind of turn, look to the door where Callias is outside. He says, and he kind of sits up. He was leaning against the wall. He hadn't really moved much since since he woke up. He just had his back against the wall and was laying on the cot. But you see him kind of throw his feet over and sit his feet on the ground, kind of looks over at the door towards Callias. He says, tell you what, how about you unlock that cage there and we get out of here, and I'll make sure you get paid just for that, let's say, a sign-on bonus, and we'll get to work.
Yeah.
We can head up. I mean, we're heading to the mountains anyways, right? You and I can head up that way, steal a couple horses on the way out of town. We'll make our way up to, well, let's just say that where them things get us this alcohol, and get us a wagon. We'll fill it up. Come on back. We'll split it 50-50. How about that?
Yeah, it actually doesn't sound like too bad of an idea. Might have to take you up on that.
He looks at the where the lock is on the cell doors. He says, "That's all it takes, right there."
All right. Well, shit. Where's everybody else at? Do you hear the old man outside, or?
He kind of leans forward like he's trying to peek out the door. Looks like he walked out. I don't know if he's following them ladies or what, but as long as we just run out the back this way, I don't think the guy in the armor is going to catch us. He doesn't move too fast. You look like you can run.
Yeah, I actually am pretty quick. Well, shit, let's
go.
do it. So do I see a key around, or would I just need to pick it?
It's no, the keys are well, Westra doesn't have it actually, so Callias has it as far as you know. But there is a lock on the front of it. You think Callias probably has it, and maybe Westra has one.
Okay.
Am I seeing this? Am I still like in the general area?
You said you walked far enough away that Callias wouldn't hear you, which means you had to get far enough away out the front. So no, I mean you can see through the door, but it's kind of dark, especially if it's right outside with all the sun reflecting off the water. Because the water, the streets are still wet from the rain. So what are you doing, G?
All right. Go look around. When I'm looking for the key, is there any windows in this place, or is it just a door in and out?
There's a window behind it's probably Callias' desk, you imagine, in the office area, and then there's the front door, which is open, and there's light coming in through it.
Okay.
But the window is kind of dirty and doesn't, it's a little bit opaque, basically. So it lets light in, but not a whole lot of vision necessarily.
All right. Then if I look out, can I see Ryloth out there?
Not where you're standing. If you moved around, you probably could, but you know that he's not that far away. So if you look for him, you could probably find him. Just where you're standing, you don't see him.
All right, I'm going to move around again, kind of looking out there, but also looking around for the key too at the same time, and just take a few peeks out and see if I can catch Ryloth out there.
Where are you? I mean, the key is not like on a peg on the wall or something like that. So where are you looking for the key?
I guess in the desk, because you said the desk, Callias' desk is near the window.
Yep.
Correct?
Okay. Yeah. There's a desk right in front of it. So you pull the first drawer, nothing. You move over to the right side of the chair. Pull the second drawer. There's a ring of keys right on it. And nothing else. Door's empty other than this ring of keys.
All right. Then I'm going to grab it, looking through the desk, and then pick up the key ring. And then if I look out from where I'm at now, can I see Ryloth at all?
Yeah, from where now that you're closer to the door, looking out there, you do see Ryloth out there.
Okay, is he looking at me by chance?
If he came out the door, I probably would have noticed you coming out the door.
He didn't come out the door. He's basically just inside the door by Callias' desk. And Callias is just outside on the other side of the basically wall right between the two of them. They just can't see each other, but looking out through the door, he can see you.
So do I see him or no?
You see Drost, yes. Yeah,
okay.
You can see him now that he's close to the door. He's still inside. He's just barely inside the door, and now you can see him there.
Hey, what's up, sneaky guy?
I'm going to
shout. You're far enough away that unless you're using message again, you'd have to shout to him.
Oh. Okay, but so he's still far away.
You had to get, I think the range is 30 feet, so you had to get like a good ways away, like across the street. Imagine being across a small street, essentially, where Callias wouldn't hear you when you sent a message. So if you were facing away or whatever. But now you can see him in the doorway. But if you do shout to him, then you'll be shouting past Callias and he'll hear you.
No, okay, then no, I'll just look at him and kind of give him a little nod, as people might, just saying hi.
Just an acknowledgement, okay.
Acknowledgement.
Yeah. So I'm going to look up at him and then just try to do like just a quick head movement as subtly as possible, kind of like follow me kind of thing, if that's
okay.
That's how we perceive
like a subtle, like head motion backwards.
Yeah, just a head motion backwards, just as subtle as possible, while Ryloth is looking at me.
Okay. Then yeah, so Ryloth, you can gather that's what he meant. It's clear that's what he intended. I just rolled for Yorick's perception is what that was. So as you can see, he didn't roll real well. But anyways, to see if Yorick had noticed that you were trying to gesture something to the outside there. It doesn't, no other reaction it seems, but you do see a dawn of realization on Ryloth's face. It seems like he probably did recognize what you were trying to gesture. But you grabbed the keys and are still in there. Callias is still just waiting outside, as far as you can tell.
All right, I'm gonna again get close enough to Yorick where I don't have to talk very loud and be like, and ask him, is there another way out of here? Or when I look around, do we see another way out of there, or is it just that one door in and out?
When you were in the barracks, there's the street entrance into the barracks is how the guards were coming in and out all the time through the middle of the night. So there's another way out there, yeah.
Okay.
Through the back.
All right. So I'm gonna say to Yorick, so think we'll be able to sneak through where the guards come in and out? Barracks?
He pulled. You guys didn't, make him, drop any of his gear or anything. He pulls the hood up over his head. He says, "I'm sure we can make it. If we're gonna make a run for it, sure. I'm not too worried about being spotted. We just got to be quicker than them. That's all. Those pot helms, they don't, they move slow. We don't got to worry about them too much."
Yeah, true. All right. Well, you ready?
He grins. He says, "Let's go."
All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to purposely, not that I actually would know which one it is anyway, but I'm assuming there's a few keys on there. So I'm gonna just kind of try a couple random ones that look like they might not fit, just to kind of buy a second or two, to give Rayloff a second, and then I'm gonna see, and then after that, I'm gonna try to really find the real key and open the lock.
Ryloth, you did see him. You saw Drost when he gestured to you and turned around. You saw a ring of keys in his hand.
So I'm gonna start walking back. I'm gonna start walking back to the cell and just be like, "All right, well,
you step up the steps back into the doorway past Callias. Callias just kind of nods at you as you go past. You're back inside the room with Drost and Yorick now.
It's taking a long time. The guards here seem like they're just being crazy. There's a lot of them. I was outside, and there's guards all over the place today. Something must be happening. Anyway,
give me a deception check. Oh, that should have been in the open.
Ooh, not great.
Real not great. A 5. So he kind of chuckles. He says, "Sure, I bet they are, old man."
Yeah. Oh, my eyesight's getting bad.
Are you still trying keys, G? What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm going to. Actually, I'm just going to put the key ring at my side again for a second, and then say, Yorick and I here had an idea of possibly changing plans. Are you going to be adverse to that, or what's going on, old man?
Well, maybe that's not the greatest idea. Tell you what, I mean, can you promise me that you'll get what I want? You said you didn't even remember where it was. Do you suddenly now remember? And I'm gonna do an insight check on whatever the fuck he says next.
All right. He says the journal, right? It was the journal that you're after. That's what you're still mad about.
Specifically, what was in the journal?
I copied what I needed from it, and I sold that. Sold the information. I kept the copy, and I stuffed it in my journal, and it's back into. And I'll tell you right now, you flat out don't believe that there is a hideout there, but he does say it's back there at the hideout, and it was not believable the way he said that.
Oh,
the rest of it sounds like it's probably true. No, you can still make your insight check for the rest, but you believed all of it except you're pretty sure there's no hideout. Between the two of you, that sounded suspicious both times that he mentioned it. But he does. You believe that he does have a copy of what he copied from the journal somewhere, with his things.
I don't know. I mean, I'm going to be whispering this. Are you talking about us just getting out of here on our own? I mean, we've got a couple more people in our group, and honestly, they might all be okay with this. I don't think they'll really care too much about, going with Mr. Lawman over here. But I don't know. You know him better than I do. What do you think?
Real quick for that, are you saying that truthfully, or are you lying to him?
No, I'm saying truthfully. Like,
okay,
I just want my journal back. I don't want to give a shit. I just want my journal.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. Give me a persuasion check. Fox, what it is you go to click the gear, and then you click on configure settings.
Every single time.
And then it is, it's under system settings in the middle at the top, Fox.
Okay.
Down at the bottom, where it's, collapse item cards in chat. You guys can turn that on or off as you want. And
I thought where it was. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm also going to be like, I mean, do you even have a way of not letting your friends know if this plan changes? What are you going to do there?
Oh, I've already gotten word to them.
No, I'm not talking to you, Yorick. I'm talking over here to Josh. Hey,
I'm clearly not talking to you.
What are my eyes, man? I'm looking at you.
If I was just looking at Justin, I would have known, right? That he was trying to look at Ben instead. He was talking to you, G.
Yeah. Well, I know. I don't really know if either Azra or Westro would care about going with Mr. Law square helmet. So I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you think, old man should be? say something.
Just talking to you, Justin.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead one more time.
Oh, I just said, I don't think, I'm not sure if Azra and Westro will care if we go with the law-abiding way or not when it comes to doing this.
Do we
So
have a
what do you
way
think?
of like, meeting them back up with them or something?
Or are we supposed to be, isn't Kalaya supposed to be going with us and all that stuff?
Yeah, I don't think
He
Elias
can take him, you know, he can take your York after we're done. Was that supposed to be the plan?
I think that was supposed to be the plan.
Okay. So, I mean, it's up to you. Change the plan and still get what we want. It's up to you. Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, guys, let's, they've been waiting a bit. Let's go ahead and switch over to Azra and Westra for a bit. So you've just shattered that window. Azra kind of, facing the crowd, and then now there's just glass all over around your feet. And the moment that the glass shatters, there is, there's a half second of just surprise and shock from all the people in the street looking in your direction, and then an obnoxious, blaring alarm going off inside the house, the house at the base of the tower there, that is just ear-piercingly loud. You have to you kind of throw Shatter Spike under one arm, the flat of the blade under the left, under your elbow, and clap your ears or your hands over your ears, because you are right in the window, and that is coming straight out at you. Same for Azra, with your big old fox or bat ears. The bat ears, aren't they?
Fox ears.
Okay, because bat ears are ugly.
And well, no, they're kind of similar to they're kind of pointed, but no. Fox ears, fox tail, and bat wings.
All right. You clap your hands, to try to block as much of the sound as you can, anyway. But it is a blaring alarm going off from inside.
Right. So I'm gonna start walking towards the street and just yelling at the people in the street. Don't worry, it's fine. We're working with Callias from the City Watch. Nobody's heard from. What the fuck is his name again? Outlaw?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody's heard from Aldolf in a while. We're just
Aerodol.
checking on him. Aerodol. Thank you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nobody's heard from him in a while. We're just checking on him. Need to make sure he's okay. Go about whatever it is you're doing. It's fine.
Give me. You're kind of telling the truth, almost. Go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
Ah, damn it! I was hoping for deception.
Then you needed to lie. If you're going to try to lie, you need to try harder. All right.
That's perception.
Oh, that was yeah, and you got an natural 20 with it. That is perfect.
Oh my god.
That is exactly what it ought to be. You are Fox level of roll right now. That is perfect.
Wow.
Of course. You already, as you're approaching, as you're kind of walking out and getting to the fence, the little fence you walk through, as soon as you get there's already a young guy. He's probably a kid, in that early teen or mid-teenager range, who has already turned and started running down the street back towards the barracks, back towards where you came from.
Of course he has. Fuck it, I'm going in the house.
All right. You turn around, rushing as quickly as you can past Azra. The window is it's a big a front front of a house kind of a window, so it's only probably 3 feet off the floor where the sill is. You can easily step in through it. It's a big window. There's plenty of room, but it is loud.
Is there something that the noise is coming from, or is it just coming from everywhere?
It's not it's coming from upstairs in the tower somewhere. It's just echoing through the stone of the tower.
Okay. Having been here a few times, do I know where he keeps his shit? His collection?
Yeah. He only takes you into the kind of entry level foyer area.
Right. I'm
And
going to
he's
the
not
tower.
there. Okay.
I don't feel
What's that, Fox?
off the alarm.
One more time.
Is the alarm off, or is it still blaring?
It's still blaring. Yeah. You're standing outside through the other side of the window. Western just passed you and climbed in through the window.
I'm just gonna put my ears flat against my head and follow her, and then try and figure out how to turn the alarm off.
Okay. All right. Then you step in through the window as well. You see her rushing towards the back of the tower, or back of the house, which leads to the kind of circular area of the stone tower. As soon as you get there, Becky, the area is filled with wooden tables with little knickknacks and things all over them. But the stone stairs lead upstairs. That's where it sounds like the sound is coming from, is upstairs. Like a circular stone, staircase that goes around the outside of the tower.
Right. Any of these knickknacks, just at like a quick glance, do they look like they're like potions or anything like that?
Give me a perception check.
Ah. Probably not going to get a 20 on this one.
Well, it's low enough anyway. That's actually underneath your passive. As far as rushing by, nothing stands out as potions, but there are wooden boxes that look like the kind of case that you might put potions in, maybe, as you're running past. But you'd need to open them all and see, what their contents are.
I'm just gonna like flip the lids open on like 2 of them as I go by.
Okay. Roll 2 percentile dice for me. What are you doing, Fox?
I'm gonna try and turn that alarm off, and then I'm gonna rifle through the stuff to actually find what we're looking for. Like, very careful.
Okay, it's upstairs as far as you can tell. It sounds like the sound is coming from upstairs. So you're gonna rush upstairs?
Which one is the percentile dice?
It is the far right, the one directly above the roll button. So do that twice.
Oh shit!
All right, so you got a 55 the first time. Second time, you're running upstairs. Then Fox, you cut out right when you said it.
Oh yes.
First box, you open it up, and there are a series of metal rods inside of it. They're just plain, look like they're, like smooth steel, maybe. And there's a bunch of them in the box. It's kind of heavy, but they're just they're just stacked on top of each other, like cans might be, essentially, except longer. Then that one doesn't appear to be potions of any kind, of course. Second one, you open it up, and there is an immediate pungent smell as soon as you open the lid, and it is filled with drying herbs.
Right, so I'm just going to grab... How big are these boxes?
Probably a foot and a half in... so a foot and a half in length, and then maybe 10 inches tall and 10 inches deep. Good size. I mean, you can carry it, but carrying both of them, you'd have to throw one under each arm if you were going to try to do that.
So I'm assuming I have the haversack, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to take the box with the herbs and toss them in the haversack.
Okay.
And I'm just going to grab, like 4 or 5 of the rods and just shove them in as well. And then start heading upstairs.
All right. You turn around and rush towards the stairs. Fox, you had just had time to pass her and start making your way up the stairs. It is very loud. You wouldn't be able to hear anything happening outside, actually, at this point, because of the noise of the alarm is too loud. Rushing up the stairs, kind of skipping over steps as you make your way up there, just jumping, leaping, passing certain stairs, or certain steps as you make your way up. As it comes around to the next floor, it only appears to be 3 total. The one you were on, this middle one, and then it looks like there's one more above you if you follow the stairs up, continuing the rest of the way. This second floor, there is a kind of a floating orb in the middle of the room, standing on top of a pedestal, and the orb is floating about probably 6 inches or so off the top of the pedestal. And then around the outside of this are similar tables like the ones you were looking at previously, but immediately you can see one that is covered in small bottles, and then beside that is one with a giant alembic, a very large alembic. You know what an alembic is?
No.
It's imagine like a chemist's lab, essentially. It's a bunch of graduated cylinders and glass pipes and things like that you could boil liquids in to distill things like that. And then, but the table beside that is covered in small vials and bottles and things like that.
Right, so I'm just gonna sweep my arm across the table and put them in the haversack.
Give it with just every bottle, like every little vial.
All
right.
Anything that looks specifically like a health potion, and anything that looks like it might be like that dude was selling, that would help with the heat or things like that.
Roll another percentile dice. What are you doing, Fox?
The source of the sound of the alarm.
Hey, all right. It's a better roll for what might be in the contents of these mystery potions you just gathered up. You don't see anything that's obvious the source of the sound. It still sounds like it's probably coming from above. You are getting to the point where you're it's starting to damage your hearing. It's like you're almost not able to. It's almost blanking out. It's so loud now at this point.
All right, as soon as I'm done with that, I'm putting my haversack back on, I've been wearing it the entire time. Okay. And then, assuming that the City Watch is coming soon, I'm going to start screaming out for his name, asking where he is, like I'm looking for him. Like I don't realize he's outside being eaten by dogs.
Okay. All right. You, in trying to shout, you're drowned out by the noise. It's too loud. You don't think that, unless they're maybe right below you, if somebody was in the floor below you, they could probably hear you. Azra can barely hear you, and she's only 10 feet away.
I'm heading up the stairs as I'm doing this, because I want to fucking shut off whatever that noise is.
All right, following Azra then, making it up to the next floor above. Upstairs, as soon as you come up, you see, you imagine this must be the source of it. There is a small music box, like a small jewelry box, basically, like maybe only 6 inches in, cube shaped. And the lid is open and thrown back, and there is what looks like a gramophone in the middle of it. That must be the source of the sound, because you can see it vibrating with noise with every pulse of the alarm going off.
I would use frostbite on it just to shut it up.
Okay, go ahead and click the frostbite thing. I don't know that we need to see the. Oh well, okay, all right. That only targets creatures. Can't target on an
I'm just
object.
going to close it.
Okay. So Azra, you begin to channel this in the direction of this thing, and feel no pull. It doesn't pull Recondidus for you. The energy expenditure does not go through. Nothing happens. Westra runs past you, snaps the lid of it shut, and the sound stops immediately.
Okay, good. I'm just gonna leave my ears flat for a little bit longer before I put them back up.
Both of you though, like, you are doing the kind of awkward jaw movement thing, like trying to depressurize your ears, and you can't hear shit.
Right. Well, I'm also still screaming his name like I'm looking for him because I know that they're coming.
Okay. All right. Then we will come back to you guys in just a minute. Back over to Drost, Ryloth, and Yorick. What are you guys doing?
Just there. I'm going to ask Yorick, you sure you can help get Ryloth's journal over here if we go exploring?
Well, of course. I mean, that's part of the deal, right? I made that promise. I'm a man of my word. Justin, are you there?
I've been talking for 10 minutes on mute. No.
Nobody heard you at all for quite a while. So
I was saying. Maybe, we should probably just wait until the other people get here. And I mean, honestly, if we need to get this guy away from us, we could probably do it later. But no need for more violence if we can avoid it.
Yeah, all right, fair enough. So let's be patient there, York. Hopefully our friends will be back soon. Who knows what they got lost in?
Do you guys hear like an alarm or something going on?
Yeah, I was wondering what the hell that was. Can we hear that from where we're at?
Yeah, I mean it's audible
Okay.
for sure. It's probably a few blocks away. You think like it seems like it's a ways away, but it's loud enough you can definitely hear it going on. He looks at you. He says, "We may have just come into some luck here. That I bet those pothelms are going to be heading that way, and not really too concerned about some travelers with hoods up running out of the city. You sure you want to give up on this kind of money? It's a lot more than what that bounty was going to be."
Yeah, I do understand that, but can't leave my partner behind. So gotta find her first, and then we can get out of here. If we can do both, we can do both.
Let's do both.
Well, we gotta wait for him. We gotta wait for him, then we can go. I mean, I don't really care about big old Daddy Law.
You don't think we can, find her? I mean, where would you guys are staying somewhere in town here, right? I know you slept here in the barracks, but that was just because of me, right? So we can go to the nearest tavern and put out word. I can send out some street urchins to track her down. We'll be fine. We'll find her and we'll be okay, and you'll make a lot more money for it. And all we got to do is cut Callias out of this.
I think we can just cut him out later. It's fine. We'll just wait. I'm a patient man.
Well, I'm starting to think that maybe that alarm has something to do with them.
He kind of glances over at you like oh fuck, like he hadn't really thought of that.
You know Westra so well.
We've been working together long enough. I don't know why it took Trost that long to realize it. So
He was breaking and entering.
hey, old dude, you want to stay here with our friend, and I'll go see if I can find the ladies. But I'm going to follow the sound of that alarm.
Ryloth, you staying with Yorick? Are you muted again, Justin?
Nope, I'm here. Yeah, I'm staying with Yorick.
All right. And Drost, you head out the front door past Callias. Callias is standing there looking at you. He says, "You're heading to check out the alarm, then?"
Yep, I have no idea why that's going off, but I'd like to go turn it off because I'm really tired of that damn sound. So
I can tell you where it's coming from. That's from the tower. That's Aerodolph's place. So my men are already on the way. I'm sure I heard some of them running by. So I know that they're going to be on their way at least anyways. I can't risk leaving this guy in case it's just a distraction from one of his gang. So be real careful out there.
Yeah, my curiosity got the best of me. I got to go see what's going on. I'm back in a minute.
All right. Then you make your way down the steps, down the block. Are you running?
I'm just going to walk at a nice brisk pace.
Okay. As soon as you pass the first alleyway, you do see two city watchmen coming out, both of them with pikes and helmets, and they're turning immediately. And they don't pay any mind. They just turn immediately and are running down the block towards that tower, which is where you hear the sound coming from.
All right.
So we'll skip back over then, since you're heading that direction anyways. Ryloth, were you doing anything else now that you're alone with Yorick, or no?
No, I'm just talking to him, and I'm gonna say
Okay.
I appreciate you, trying to get this ball rolling, but we can't just trust you. We still gotta play our cards as safe as possible. And I'm just an old man. I'm scared of you just murdering. I don't want you to just murder me. So we gotta be careful. When they come back, though, we'll start heading to the mountain, and we'll get it all sorted.
What is it that you're so concerned about with the contents of that journal anyway? It didn't make any sense to me. I mean, I read it and I passed the knowledge along. It made no sense.
This little human ear that I have hanging from my necklace, I'm just going to whisper to it. Did you hear that? He doesn't even know why I want that journal. It's not there. And then I'm going to stop. Yeah, I know. Well, it's not really your concern, but it's very personal to me. I need all that information. It's who'd you sell that information to anyways?
How much is it worth to you?
I don't know, maybe less likely to use you as a human shield.
You're going to be happy that I'm acting as a human shield for you. If anything, you should be paying me for that. If we get there, there's no way you and your friends are surviving without me. No way.
Well, a good thing we'll be there, tied up on the back of a horse. Luckily, with my old hand, I can untie knots in under minutes. So, like 5 minutes should be okay.
If you say so, old man.
Yeah.
All right, then we'll skip over to Westra and Azra. Snap the lid of it shut. The alarm has stopped. You are temporarily deafened, at least for a short bit. You can hear each other, but only you're shouting and 5 feet away from each other and barely hear each other. That kind of noise. So you're not hearing any other sound anywhere else. What are you doing?
I'm grabbing Azra's hand and running down the stairs, still calling out for him like we're looking for him, because I don't know if, I can't hear if there's any fucking city guards coming, but we're heading downstairs.
Okay. Not grabbing anything else, just running?
Well, I grabbed a bunch of potions, and as we're running back through, were there any more boxes in that other room?
There's a bunch of boxes down there. You only had a chance to open 2 before you ran up the stairs.
I can pick some of them out and look for anything to be able to make more health potions or health potions, like some vials, etc., etc.
Well, there was that entire alembic, which that's what that's for. That's for making. It's for chemistry, or alchemy in this case. But it's too big. It's not something that would even fit in a haversack, and even if you did, it'd probably break.
I'd be looking for something smaller. That way.
Go ahead and give me a percentile roll.
Okay.
I'm going to pop open 2 more boxes as we're in that room.
Okay. Give me 2 more percentile rolls for that then. With that fox, it doesn't appear that he has smaller portable versions. Really, he has a giant alembic that is kind of intended to be, mass production essentially. It doesn't seem like he's got a portable version as far as you can tell. There is a small sensor, which you already have one of those, so it's what you use for Find Familiar. It's just basically a small metal plate that you put fire underneath. But he doesn't have the kind of distillation kit that you would use, like a brewer's kit. He doesn't seem to have one of those.
Okay, I'll have to find one later then. I'll just look to see if there's any other ingredients from health potions or small vials.
The floor that you were on, the 3rd floor there was a table with just a bunch of strands of different herbs and pastes and things like that that are laid out that are near a window, like a murder hole kind of a window, that there's light coming in from, that he's probably using this to dry those, it seems like. But a few alchemical supplies, it seems like, on that table, just not the kind of stuff you would use for, not actually brewing of, but maybe ingredients, raw ingredients.
I'll grab a few and try and figure out what they are, and then look for water skins if there's any.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an investigation check, and Becky for that box check. One box you open, and there's natural 20. Fox never gets natural 20s. Anytime it's green, by the way, that means it's a natural. That means it's the highest possible that you can roll. So even if it's not a damage, that's green.
Okay.
Yeah, and then if it's red, it means the minimum that you can possibly roll, usually a 1. Anyway, first box, you open it up, and there's a bunch of small, like knick-knack type things in there, but it doesn't appear to be, arcane to use or anything particularly valuable. Just like small bits of clay and things like that. The second one you open, and it's rolled up, tons and tons of rolls of paper in there. There's probably a dozen rolls of paper inside of it.
I'm just going to grab a handful, shove it in the bag, and I'm looking for a jug. Specifically, one of those jugs of, like, infinite water. I don't remember exactly what they're called.
Okay. If he might have one, like those don't look the same. Those are... It's an enchantment that's put on like a container of any type, essentially. So you wouldn't really know beyond, like it could be, his bedside water, water bottle for all you know, that type of thing.
But any kind of like jug on a shelf or anything like that that he obviously collected.
Okay, give me another percentile dice. These percentile dice, by the way, are just to whether there's a chance of these things even being here, because there is so much stuff around.
Probably not.
Looking around, I mean, there's small like cups and things like that, but you don't really see anything that would maybe match exactly what you're looking for. Ezra, in that search, though, you from your investigation check, you have plenty of time to gather up all those alchemical ingredients. Was that what you were doing?
Perhaps looking for like vials or water skin.
Oh, the water. Okay, that's the water skin then. You don't really see water skin specifically, but there are 2 buckets. It would be the equivalent of like a 5-gallon bucket, basically, that look to have water of some sort in it. When you run your fingers through it, though, it shimmers a little bit.
Yeah, I'll just run it out to Westra and be like, there's something weird here. Like,
are there empty vials or anything like that around?
Yeah, there's
something I can put a stop
like that next to his alchemy kit.
Right, so I'm gonna grab like 4 or 5 of those, just fill them up, stop and throw them in the bag.
Okay. You fill vial, and the 4th one, as you are, getting ready to stopper it, there's a shout from behind you. You turn and look, and there is a guardsman standing there with a pike pointed at you, and his mouth is moving, but he's 15 feet away, and you can't hear him.
Right. I can't hear jack shit. I'm a little deaf right now, thanks to the stupid fucking alarm. I'm a friend. A what?
Perception check, Ezra too.
We're also working with what was his
Callias.
Callias. We were just here to check on him. We can't find him. We don't know what's going on.
That you're looking at him and able to see his mouth, you can kind of make out a little bit of the noise of what he's saying. And he says, Callias didn't send you to rob this man. What are you doing here?
I am here to talk to him to find out if he could help us with what we're doing, but I can't fucking find him. He should be here.
Talk to him, but why are you filling your pockets with things of his?
Because we're friends. And I'm going to take out like 10 gold and just drop it on the counter next to him. We have an arrangement.
Trying to buy off the City Watch? This is not going to go well.
No, I'm not. I'm not buying off the City Watch.
Putting the money for Amarath for when he gets back, because she's like.
Yes, I'm saying we.
You don't even know his name when you're trying to rob the man. You break his windows, you break into his place, and I see you filling your pockets, and now you're trying to buy off the City Watch. Drop your weapons. We're going to the barracks. Let's go.
First off, I'm not trying to buy your ass off, and I will walk out of here. Well, no, I dropped coins on the table saying that me and...
I understand that. I'm saying that imagine his perception, Aerodol. Yes. Imagine his perception in what he would have seen. And then, of course, Azra says his name wrong. As if you know this guy. This looks very bad for you all.
I didn't proper name.
I didn't say she had an arrangement with him. I said I have an arrangement with him, and I will gladly go to the City Watch with you and talk to Callias. Let's go. Then I start walking.
As
Hands up,
you're approaching,
but still walking.
hands up, great.
But I
as you're
still have my weapons. I ain't dropping shit.
he's got the pike on you anyway. But as you are approaching, there is you hear the shouting of them because Westra, you hear Westra's voice shouting much too loud, coming from the top of this tower. It sounds like as you're making your way through the front door. The front door is open now, by the way. You didn't notice that. That wouldn't stand out to you at all, but for Azra and Westra, potentially it could.
I'm going to follow the very loud sound of Westra yelling.
Okay. You make your way up the stairs. As you make up the second kind of row of them heading up towards the third floor, there's a guardsman on the stairs with a pike pointed at you. Who are you with them? Put your hands up. To you.
Yeah.
You are dressed kind of like a burglar, so.
Guys, Ryloth is going to have to give all his money to the bad guy to get his shit back now.
It'll be
All going to
fine.
get murdered.
You're all going to have your own bounties on you all. It's like you're going to have to pay bail to get out now. just pay off that or use the bounty to pay off your bail to get out. But a pikeman, the second guard that you had seen the two of them running by, you hear one of them upstairs. You hear another voice that is not Westra or Azra, and then another one is directly in front of you with a pike pointed at you, telling you to put your hands up, G.
Yeah, I will. And I'll be like, I was just coming to check on my friends. I'm assuming they probably came this way.
Your friends?
Yeah.
You thought you guys could break into poor Erdolf's place and just steal all of his things?
Oh, that's my dude. No, that's my homeboy. Yeah. Well,
You've never met the guy. Give me a deception check.
Oh, I can't. I don't think unless.
Oh yeah, sorry. I gotta roll it for you. Hey, all right. Well, you got a 25, G. I meant to roll that in public. I gotta use hockey. I gotta figure out what the hockeys are to roll that separately. But you got 25 total. He the pike doesn't dip. He says, "All right, well, I don't know that I can override the captain, but we'll at least got to take you back and we'll figure it out when we get there. Sound good?"
All right, I appreciate that. Thanks, man.
He still keeps the pike in your direction. He says, "All right, turn around. Let's go."
No problem. And I walk with my hands up. Not like straight up over my head, but kind of shoulder straight out, arm straight out, kind of thing.
Okay. He walks you down to the bottom of the stairs and then out towards like the middle where that orb is on the second floor. You ran past it the first time. You didn't even notice it. Westra and Azra, hands up. He kind of moves behind you. He kind of spins around to the top of the stairs. He had just come up to the top of the stairs when he saw you guys filling up piles and starts kind of pushing you down the stairs with the pike. And then if you guys are not resisting or anything else, you're just heading back to the barracks.
Yep.
Then the three of you, with two pikemen standing behind you, all three of you, hands up in the air, come down the street to see Callias, standing out front, just waiting for you, starting to clearly impatient, until you come around the corner, and his gauntleted hand just smacks onto the railing that he's standing in front of. His jaw kind of drops. What did you do?
Look, I have an arrangement with Eredolf.
Yeah, Erdolf.
Eredolf Lundgren.
He's supposed to be here. He wasn't. I got worried. I broke in because I couldn't get in. I can't find him.
One of the guards that had the pike on you shouts, "Don't believe a word of this. I saw them. When we found them, they were filling up things, just shoving pockets full of everything they found in there. And then this one," and he kind of doesn't stab you, but pokes you with the end of the pike in the back. "This one tried to drop gold on the counter, trying to get me to let them leave."
I turn around, you poke me with that shit again, I'm gonna take your fucking head off, and I turn back to Kylos. So, as I was saying, we have an arrangement. If I get here and he ain't here, I can take what I need, leave my gold, which is what I was going to buy grungy ass off. That is our arrangement.
I'm starting to regret all of this arrangement. How did we even get involved with you? I thought you were on the up and up. Your reputation's always been so good, and here you're trying to rob one of our proud city folk?
Did I say I was robbing? I said I had an arrangement.
I'm going to need to talk to Eredolf to get your story straight here, to see if he backs up what your claims are, but I'm afraid I don't believe that one bit. He's a very secretive man. He doesn't let people just into his place, let alone leave money behind for his things. He's awfully picky about that kind of thing.
Yes, well, that's what happens when you have arrangements with people. He's not exactly secretive with everyone, but if you can find him, I would gladly love to talk to him. I can't find him anywhere.
He's dead behind a house, and you guys have broke into it. You were going to be charged with murder for sure.
Hey man, there's dog bites. It's not like I bit him.
Seriously, way to completely derail this one shot. This is not what you guys were supposed to be doing, but it's all the more fun, so I'm totally for it. Are you still there, Justin? You
yeah, I'm still there.
Okay, all right. Anyway, so he does not look to believe you. Go ahead and give me a sorry, check.
A what check?
Persuasion.
Persuasion or deception?
Okay, yeah, deception. Yeah, it would be deception. That's fair.
Hey, at least that's somewhat better.
I mean, half the stuff was truth, but the stuff about the leaving money behind is definitely lies. And on top of that, you didn't mention having seen his body behind the house. All right. He says, "All right, Jenny, you can leave them behind. I'll take care of it from here. Just make sure that was the place damaged? What happened?" And he tells me, we got there, the window was broken, so we've got to make sure that no one gets in there until we find him. All right, well, just keep an eye on the place. Don't let anybody sneak in there, try to steal anything else. What'd you take, by the way?
It was just some stock potions he had on hand, and I'm going to hold up one of the vials that I had just filled without being able to stop it yet.
Okay.
This is,
it's alchemic
we
water.
have an agreement.
Both you and Azra would recognize it. It's alchemic. It's basically clean, like water that's been enchanted for making potions.
It's nice, clean alchemical water. You can take a look at it if you want.
I believe you. Anything else?
Nope, that's it. Because he has no idea what I already had in my haversack, so.
Yeah. All right. I'm afraid we're probably going to have to search you for other ill-gotten gains, but we'll talk with Eridol first and see if he backs up your story. I guess head on in and, just stay put. Don't try to leave.
Well, we have a deal of shit we got to do, so hopefully this doesn't take too long.
We're not leaving until we talk to Eridolf. For all I know, that you were in line with Yorick in the first place, and all of this was just some clever ruse to try to get out of town.
Right.
In with you. And he kind of gestures up the stairs.
Go up.
Okay. And the three of you walking in somewhat sheepishly, Ryloth in there with Yorick, heard all of this from directly through the door.
What the hell's going on, guys? You had a very reputable reputation for people who get stuff done. It's been one day!
We're still getting... It's a bit of a misunderstanding. So don't worry.
You were cutting out a bit there, Becky. A bit of a misunderstanding, what?
So don't worry about it.
Hey. Yorick is kind of chuckling. So that was your trouble?
I'm always in trouble.
You sure you guys are on the right side of all of this?
Positive.
You could make a lot more money doing my kind of work.
But I like my kind of work.
Sounds like you like my kind of work and you just aren't being honest with yourself.
Nah, I prefer to do the stuff that normally doesn't land me in jail.
Setting off alarms and trying to steal from rich folk? You sure?
Hey, we have an arrangement.
It does not seem like he believes you either necessarily. You can roll if you want, but yeah, no, especially where the guards don't seem to believe, so he isn't going to in this case either.
I have my story and I'm sticking to it.
All right, are you guys doing anything else? Or are you just killing time until Callias, figures out whatever's happening here and comes back?
Are we? Well, wait. Where are we exactly? So I know we're back in the barracks.
You are in the so all right. Think of it like a longhouse, right? And then the front is the office. Just behind that is a jail cell, so like a Western style jail, like a small jail with 4 cells. You guys are in the cell. York is still inside, but you guys are in the cell area. And then through another door from behind there is the barracks, where there's probably 12-ish cots, and they've set up with another 12 on top of them, so 12 like bunk beds, so 24 total. And then behind that is the doorway that goes outside.
Right. And is there anybody else in there with us?
There are guards. Yeah. So there's Callias standing out front, and then there are guards inside the barracks area.
How many guards?
Peeking through the doorway, you can see at least 2 shapes that are laying on cots. That are probably, that might be sleeping, but they're at least laying on cots. And there are 2 more on the far side that are standing up and talking over by the door.
Right. Is there anywhere that I can pull, like, Drost off to the side and, like, whisper to him without anybody hearing?
The cell area that you're in it's not super big, but if you're whispering, nobody's probably going to hear you.
All right, so I'm going to pull him as far away as I can and just kind of whisper him and be like, so we may have a bit of an issue. He's dead. We found him in the back eaten by dogs. We took his shit because I'm not paying that fucking apothecary for any of his shit. We might have to figure out a way to get out of this.
I actually did have another offer I wanted to run past you guys anyway. We could just not involve Callias in the city watch and sneak out the back door. I mean, if you guys are up for it. With York.
Me, but how the fuck are we getting past these guards?
Well, I wasn't. When I was talking to York and Ryloth, we didn't realize that the alarm was from you guys. We weren't sure. We didn't think you guys were going to go burglarizing. So it was going to be a little bit easier to get out of this, but we'll figure something out.
It wasn't my first intention. I had planned to go actually buy supplies, but there's this little fucking creep that called me a little lady and pissed me the fuck off.
Well, next time if he doesn't sell to you, just let me know when we'll have Ryloth cast invisibility on me and we'll steal the motherfuckers. Then nobody has to get caught. Yeah, see? Next time just use your criminal friend, okay?
Yeah, so we need to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, we do. All right.
Okay.
Where the hell is Claes?
He's still standing out front. He's waiting for someone to bring him Aerodolph, it sounds like, or his guards to come back. Like you can see him. He's literally standing out the same place that he had been this whole time, just waiting out front. Speaking of, okay, it doesn't seem like he heard you as far as you can tell. Okay, they're whispering at least. Justin, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm just here. Ryloth can't hear what they're saying. Are they over by Ryloth?
Nope.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying that in 2008, in 12 and a half, 13 years, something like that of friendship, I don't think I've ever heard you be quiet this long before. So just making sure you're still doing okay. All right,
I had a minor stroke, went to the hospital, came back, I'm good.
Enough medical emergencies that I had to concern myself with the case. All right, so you obviously saw Westra and Drost in the corner whispering to each other, but that was about it. What is Azra doing?
I'm gonna ask Maru to go check out the tower, see what's going on there.
Okay.
Are you guys shackled or anything? Or are you guys just in the building?
No, he didn't chain anybody up. There's basically guards. There's basically guards on both sides. You can't really you couldn't get out easily, but you're otherwise not blocked from doing anything else. You're not shackled. You don't have your stuff taken away. Nothing. He's trying to give you the benefit of the doubt because of your previous arrangements and Westra's reputation.
All up.
What's that?
Would I have heard them because I have a bit of more acute hearing, or is
you have keen hearing? So go ahead and give me a perception check with, I would say with advantage, but because they were intentionally trying to whisper as quiet as possible, it'll be a flat roll because that would have been disadvantage from that portion. So you definitely heard bits and pieces of it, and it sounds like they were talking about potentially another arrangement. You heard that portion of it. Maybe sneaking out of here type of thing. What's Ryloth doing?
Ryloth is No, he's still wait. I mean, he's keeping an eye on Yorick. He doesn't want Yorick to do anything funky, and he can see these the other people come in, right?
Yeah, you saw you saw everybody come in, and that discussion. Like you saw all of that. Even with Yorick, obviously you were involved in all that.
I'm just gonna be like, don't go anywhere. He's either tied up or he's locked in a cell right now, right?
He's not tied up. He's still in the cell with the door
He is
locked.
in the cell as well. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go ahead and walk up to the group and. All right, so we leaving now. We got our horses and everything we need.
You heard everything that happened outside. Were you AFK for a minute or something, Justin?
Well, yeah, it happened outside, so I heard that.
Yeah,
they
were shouting, like directly out through an open door right at the front.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You heard everything.
In that case, I'm just gonna go up and be like, so let's go, I guess. Leave.
Yeah. Do you have a plan of getting out of here without, guards?
Oh, you mean in 30 seconds? And I thought we'd have to do this? Yeah, totally. Sarcastically.
Yeah, because I really don't want to have to hurt the guards. I really don't.
I don't know. Can you not talk your way out of whatever the hell just happened?
I've been trying. They don't exactly seem to believe me. Mind you,
here's the question.
is dead behind his house.
Ryloff doesn't live in this town, right? Like,
no.
Okay, yeah.
None of you guys are from here. You've all been here before. It's an important port town, but
I'm gonna go look at the side door and just take a look around outside on that part of the building.
Out to the street behind the guards.
Out to the other exit, not to the.
So there's two.
They're at. Yeah, so the other.
So you have to have missed something. Like, it doesn't make sense that you didn't catch that. So Callias is blocking one door, and there are 4 guards in another room that are blocking the other door. 2 of them are asleep.
Oh, yeah.
Standing by the door.
Okay, so yeah, I missed that. So nope, I have no plan at all.
All right.
I'm gonna ask
By now, go ahead.
what her arrangement with Aradolpha was, curiously.
You probably would have believed that, yeah, because she was lying for sure. But Azra would not know that. So
luckily, I'm not part of this group. Apparently.
There wasn't exactly an arrangement. We were more acquaintances than anything.
All right, I'm gonna go talk to Callias.
What?
I'm gonna go up to Callias.
okay, he is. Yeah, he's got his back towards the door, but he hears you approaching. He turns and looks. What is it, old man?
Listen, we need to take him, and we need to go get this done. What's the holdup?
The holdup is your friends decided to rob an upstanding citizen of Knotside.
I mean, why would they do that? Look what we've just did. We're helping you with this. What sense would it make for them to do that?
You, so far, apart from bringing Yorick in, which I don't have any reason to believe was done intentionally. If anything, it looked like you were trying to escape with him. Apart from that, you've done nothing to help here. You've caused I wouldn't say immeasurable, a lot of harm. We found some dead citizens in the streets, earlier in the evening that I imagine you were probably involved with as well. I have very little reason to believe that you're not here to try to get him out of here. Cause a distraction in town. Your friends try to steal some valuables from our sage.
Oh, I didn't even realize that's what was going on. Oh, well.
You heard all that. They were shouting it all right in front of you. You're pretending not to.
Like, yeah, okay. Okay, I guess we're just waiting here.
By this time, Azra, your Maru would have come back, and she communicates via pictures, seeing 2 guards standing over the corpse that you guys saw in the back. The dogs are not there anymore, but they're standing over the corpse that you guys saw in the back of the tower.
So I'm just gonna go up to Lester and whisper that they found him, and leave it at that.
Okay.
Also, Maru is a he.
Just tell Maru what?
said Maru is a he. He said she.
Did I say she? I'm sorry. Used to sigh. Any further conversation between Callias and Ryloth?
He's the only one blocking this exit.
Yeah, he's not even like he's not standing in front of you. He's like off to the side slightly of the door, but he's basically you can't get out of the front door without moving past him.
All right. From what I can see and hear, he's like the only one in that general area. The other guards are by the other door.
Yeah, there's more guards in the back that are in the barracks area where you guys were sleeping, and then there's Callias who is standing like in front of and off to the side, basically a porch, and he is leaning on the railing on the porch directly in front of the door, off to the left slightly. I'm
gonna go ahead and cast Charm Person on him from a little bit further away where he can't really see me.
Okay. Click on Charm Person so that it shows up in the chat so I can see it.
Yeah, let me just double check on this. Well, that's still no. It's not really gonna change anything. It's just a friendly acquaintance. It's not gonna modify anything. All right, no. No, I'm gonna leave it up to this other group. Ryloth doesn't really know what's about to happen here.
It's fair. You guys really fucking managed to bungle this up.
If anyone's curious, if you all get arrested, I am still going to tell the truth that I hired you to do a job. And I'm going to still try to work with the other guy to get my shit. So the story will continue without anyone else.
So Ryloth will run off with York while the rest of you, hang from Robin.
No loyalty to this group. I'm paying him to do a job.
That's fair.
So, did Dross tell me what the other plan was? That we were getting out of here with York without Callias?
I didn't go into any detail, but that was pretty much exactly what I said. Yeah. So.
Right. So I'm gonna go up to Callias.
Okay.
And just kind of stand so York can't really see what I'm saying, and just kind of whisper to Callias. Be like, look, I know you don't want to trust me right now, but you've trusted me this far.
And look where it got me.
Hey, listen to what I have to say first. York wants to get out of here. He wants. I am not.
You can hear guards coming up the street. They're heading this way. They're close by. So you feel like you may not have long before he's pulled away. Go ahead.
Look, I'm not 100% positive that he's telling us the truth about where the hell we're supposed to be going, but he wants to get out of here without you. I have a bounty on his head. I already made a deal with you that I would give you his head when we were done. So how about we go, you stay here, and when this is all over, you get his head. Done deal. This is exactly what we agreed on.
And I'm supposed to just ignore that we just found you breaking into a citizen's house and trying to steal his things?
I told you we had an agreement.
Guards coming around the corner.
Tell you.
Captain! He's dead. We found him in the back. Callias turns and looks back at you. He's dead, huh?
Hands up. I didn't touch him.
Okay, persuasion check.
God damn it, my persuasion fucking...
He didn't roll real high. Okay. At least you got a chance there.
Not bad.
You didn't touch him then, so I'm supposed to just believe that he was dead, unrelated to you breaking into his house and stealing his things. And the guards are right. Approaching. They're close enough now. We found him in the back. He was out back of the house, and it looked like he'd been mangled by dogs, but he had that big old belly like he'd been drinking the Red Claw. And Callias turns back and looks at you. How do you explain this then?
Well, the last time I saw him, he wasn't like that, so obviously he's been drinking this nasty-ass shit going around town, and the idiot got himself fucking eaten.
And then you decided to just break into his place and steal his things?
I told you we had an agreement. He's supposed to leave his doors unlocked. It's not my fault he drank that shit and went fucking crazy.
None of this adds up. This doesn't make any sense at all. I think instead of listening to you any further, I think we need to throw you and your friends into themselves and we'll put it in as soon as the magistrate gives approval. You guys can hang at the end of the ropes next to Yorick. Guards, take him on in.
Real quick, I just hired them to do a job. I've been here the whole time. Are we okay?
Yeah, you've been standing right next to, right outside the door where Wester's inside the door. Go ahead and give me a persuasion check. Oh. Oh, okay. He turns, looks at you. I got a 6 on his insight against your persuasion. Turns, looks at you. Old man, you don't seem to be the type to have fallen in with this crowd. So, tell you what, you're not free to go. But I think if we can find out the truth of all this, I think I'll end up finding that you weren't directly involved so much as just hiring on, as you said. So just hold tight. We'll talk here in a bit, and maybe
Okay.
you can work your way.
While he's having this conversation, Westra's done. She's just gonna look at me like, I'm sorry, but I ain't hang him for a crime that I didn't commit. I didn't kill this asshole. And she's just gonna punch him in the fucking face.
Punch Goliath.
Yep.
There are 3 behind him and 4 more right
Do
behind
we
him.
have a battle map prepared?
I
Yeah.
do not have a battle map for you guys.
We're almost out of time anyway. So.
I'm just standing there being cool, so I ain't fighting nothing.
There are 2. So just to be clear, there are 2 guards right behind him, plus him, and then there's 4 more behind you. You're still gonna try to punch him?
Fuck, 6 guards.
Decide quick.
7. No, shit. Damn it.
You're
He
a girl, you
sees
can slap him.
he sees you clench your fist. He says, "Do it." Maybe we won't have to wait for the magistrate. We'll just hang you tonight.
Like I said, I didn't touch the asshole.
We'll find the truth of it. The magistrate will talk to what's left of Eridolf, and we'll find the truth of it. Take him on in. He gestures to the guards. The 2 pikemen that brought you here move you in, split you into the cells there. Just because of room here, Ryloth, you're not put into a cell, but the 3 of you are in the cells around the Wester. You're put in the same one that you were sleeping in, next to Yorick. Across on the other side, Drost in one, and Azra in the other. Ryloth.
What does Yorick look like right now? What is his facial expression going on?
Jaw dropped and he's so happy. It's just like the best. Imagine he's watching the best movie, like a drama movie, because this is just hysterical to him. It seems like knees slapping and just so happy. But you are led into the cells. Turnkeys pulled and locked, and you are left there. That the guards walk up to either side. So there's basically one of them sitting on either side, the chairs against the walls, because they're facing each other, but also able to see all of you in the cells, and they just sit down there. Ryloth in there, sitting at the desk, the other chair at the desk. Callias turns around, comes back in, sits down at the desk there, goes to pull the drawer open, looks. Where are my keys? Looking up at you guys.
I haven't been here, so I didn't touch your keys.
Old man?
I just shrug.
I don't know. Did you put them in the fridge? That happens sometimes.
How about you, mongrel? And he looks over at Rock.
I've just been out looking for my friends, man.
Make a deception check. Oh, well, then let me roll it for you then. If it's not working next week, I think I'll just have you roll them, and you can just tell me what you got.
It might be the the cache or cookies or whatever it was that you had Fox to, because I haven't used Foundry on this computer yet. So.
Oh shit, that's probably a super old version of Chrome actually, because you haven't used that since November, was it? When we were playing last, when you were running it.
It even actually says on here that this is an old version of Chromium, and that some stuff might not be, or that this may encounter issues. It's a little message on Foundry.
Well, if it says Chromium, then it's Edge you're trying to use. So that probably either one would just need to be updated. You'd probably be fine. So we'll do that before next week at least. But you go with a 14. He says, he gestures to one of the guards. He says, Jimmy, go toss him over. Make sure that his pockets are empty. And the guard stands back up, comes back over to your cell, turns the lock. Are you going to make this difficult?
Nah.
Rylos is going to have a good night's sleep and stack his deck to get y'all the fuck out.
You're gonna have to come up with something because now it's a fucking jailbreak.
I mean, I can. I just don't have what I need right now. I didn't think this is going to be an option.
Oh, as far as the spells you prepared,
Yeah.
For a jailbreak.
Okay, you have to be ready for anything to happen.
I mean, I can do some shit. I just can't imagine any of it working.
This wasn't the original plan.
For real, like none of this, guys. None of this. Like this is you guys probably.
I don't even know who these people or why they went to this house.
No, none of you
You
guys.
wanted to buy supplies because the apothecary was being a jerk.
Yeah, all of this because you guys were offended that some guy called you a little lady, and that was enough to make you like get
I was
arrested
offended
for
at
murder.
the exorbitant prices that he was trying to charge us more because we were female, and the
Yeah.
weird look he was giving me just because I looked different.
Yeah, it's all
I mean,
You guys are so easily riled up. All right, so anyways, the guard standing in the cell door, swung open. G, he says, "You're going to make this difficult."
And not this time. It's your lucky day. I'll just put my hands up.
You have the keys. Are you going to give them to him, or are you going to make him search your pockets?
I'll make him search for it.
All right. Let's see. He's a professional.
I could have had major image ready.
Damn it!
You really could. Yeah, wizards in particular would be, super useful for jailbreaks because there's a lot of things you can do with that. But natural 20, checking your pockets.
Even
easily
hideous
find
laughter
keys.
would have been good.
I could have, yeah. Keys, you barely had time to even stash them when all this was going on, anyways. So he immediately grabs them. He turns and looks. He says, "Boss, got him right here." And he kind of jingles the keys. He pushes you, pushes you in the chest, pushes you back down towards the cot, and turns around and starts closing the door.
I'm gonna go for it, Drost. Really, Drost? You could have just given them to him. If you had them, just hand them over.
I like being
Callias. Callias kind of just looking over all of you goes, like tisk tisk kind of a sound. I can't believe I fell for it. I don't know what I must have been. Maybe I had too much of the red claw myself because, Jesus, you come in here and fucking steal my keys even?
Yeah, you steal their keys?
Just be glad I really thought it might have been you. And he kind of turns and looks at you, Roth. So,
I'm literally trying to get back what was stolen from me from that asshole right there.
okay, that's fair. All right.
I heard
So,
these guys were good at getting things,
well, give me the rest of the story then. What got you here? Why are you mixed up with these never-do-wells?
There's the band of Hopeless. I was coming back from my old friend's funeral, humming a ditty while I rolled my car along, and I got jumped, and they stole some belongings, and one thing that's real important that they have back at his hideout over under this, mountain. And they were supposed to go with me to find him to get that. And it just turned into a disaster. My own
Well, I
bone.
can't argue with that. So how does that? You hired them for this? They brought you here to town. Why were you? Usually if you hire somebody to go get something for them, you're.
No, he was the one. He was the leader of the Hopeless, right? That's what we were under the understanding.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he was the one that basically has what I needed, and so we were just hiring to track him down. Turns out the thing that he stole, he doesn't even have anymore. He left it back at home. And then we were about to go there, and now we're going to work with you. But it's just so hard on me. I'm just a poor old man. I'm just trying to get my belongings back. I spent all of my money to these group of people, and I was just hoping for some positive outcomes.
He looks at you, says, "You can drop it with the crocodile tears, old man." Go ahead and give me a persuasion check with advantage.
How do you do advantage again?
So if you're gonna roll it from your sheet, it is hold shift, I think, when you click it. So yeah, I think it's shift for advantage, and then control for disadvantage. Let me just check.
Yeah.
We'll use your roll. I'm just going to test it real quick here. Where am I? Persuasion. Here we go. Yeah, hold shift for advantage,
Yes.
control for disadvantage. When
I think you can also click the little ADV or DIS at the bottom.
Well, when you do that, if you're just clicking it directly from the sheet, it won't do that. The advantage, disadvantage, this is a different add-on, different module. So if you
Well,
just
so
click D20 twice and then ADV and then do it, then
I
it'll roll
click
it.
ADV first and then go onto my sheet and click Persuasion. Does it?
It's no, it just rolled
kidding.
one. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, dang.
Yeah. So if you're going to roll, basically, don't worry about it unless you're trying to manually roll something. Then that ADD button at the bottom isn't going to do anything unless you're trying to manually roll. For now, I'll see if there's a module to make those two cooperate. But with advantage, you got a 17 and a 6, and he got a natural 1. All right, old man. I believe your side of things. You don't look the type to be mixed up with these kind of underbelly citizens anyway. You're free to go on your way. Yorick probably isn't going to be around much longer to help you find your thing, so I wish you the best of luck in finding that, and if you still need help with it, I don't know how much we can be, but we'll at least make it every effort, as is our job.
Well, I mean, we still gotta go find. You guys are going up there to find that Red Claw shit, right? You still heading up there?
Another group? Yeah, I don't have enough men to do it myself, so I'll have to hire some folks that actually stick to their word. He kind of gives an evil glare towards the Westra.
Yeah, she's just glaring back.
I'll tell you what, you come back tomorrow when all this is dealt with, and you give us a clear record of what it is that they stole from you. And the group that we send up, I'll make sure if they find it, let them know there's a reward involved to bring it back to you. Sound good?
Oh, yeah. I guess if that's the best option I have, I know where it is now. I can maybe find other people to help me too.
Well, it's a big mountain.
Did I already pay them? I don't remember. No. Okay.
Well, okay.
80 platinum. You still have that. Not on you, but you still have the 80 platinum to pay them.
Okay. So, and I'm sure this probably isn't a thing. I was going to pay them 80 platinum pieces to help me with this venture. I'm guessing that would be enough to get them out, would it? I understand this is a high crime, so don't take offense. I just don't know much about this area.
Yeah, we don't do bail for murder.
Oh, okay. What about down?
Ask Jim.
Keep quiet. We'll gag you if we have to.
All right.
Flip
So
him off and just stand there.
I'm gonna leave, but I'm not gonna go super far away. How many guards I'm gonna do kind of a slow walk around, trying to look at how many guards are outside the building and also inside. So I'm gonna walk around there and kind of slowly walk around the edge of the building. How many guards total are in that general vicinity?
Well, I'll tell you first that while you were inside still, while you were waiting in Wester and Azra were out there before the alarm went off, you did clock that there were 4 guards in the barracks still. 2 of them appeared to be sleeping, and then Callias outside. Then the 2 more came back with them, and they are in there now. So all the guards that are inside the building. As far as when you go out and start walking around the streets, you go every 2 blocks, 3 blocks or so, you'll see a guard. You don't usually see them in pairs. Most of the time, you see one, but they're just patrolling the streets. Sometimes you'll see them talking to somebody. You'll see one, that is stopped in the courtyard area that you see where the kind of bazaar type thing is, who appears to be buying apples. But you basically see them around pretty frequently, but they're not in dense areas. There's not a whole bunch of them all together.
I don't even have a spell to light a fire.
Yeah, you're relying on our light spells or day's lights. I'm gently gonna ask Callias how many people have died from drinking the Red Claw and see what he answered. Because he did say that ever since it came in, people are going crazy and dying from it or whatnot. So I'm just gonna ask him how long it takes for somebody to end up dying from the stuff.
Why pretend to care at this point, miss? I really don't make a habit of talking to convicts.
Because if people were already dying before we got here, couldn't it have been possible that, as my friend said, or employer at this point, said that we were just looking for him inside because she had an arrangement to procure some travel items and left gold on the table? where she didn't go in the back because that was a private area. As you said, he was a very private person.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check with disadvantage. I keep forgetting to actually use his sheet for his charisma modifier, but because he's not proficient, but doesn't matter with a flat roll anyway. But not advantage, so take that off. Oh, surprise. Fox is back to her normal rolls. Well, he got a 3, so Sith got a natural 1 for one of his insight checks, and now 3. He kind of stops for a second. He's kind of running his, drumming his fingers on the table. He says, as far as count, it's been 24 already, and with more every day. But the thing is, it's the real risk isn't the ones that drink themselves to death. It's what they do before they get there. They start going crazy. They start causing fights. We just get riots of, people breaking into taverns in the middle of the night trying to just find the last drops of the stuff that they can. And city's dry of it by now. There's not much left of it as far as we know, unless there's some stash somewhere. But those that were addicted are still out there breaking windows and robbing people, trying to get as much money as they can to afford the next batch that might come in with the next wagon. That answer your question, miss?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's going to be a long night. I'm going to have to get back, but then we'll keep a close eye on you. And once we get word from the magistrate in the morning, as long as we get approval, you guys probably won't even have to, see through the afternoon. We'll get you taken care of. Noon, maybe you'll have time for lunch, and then you'll be at the end of the rope before long. Sound good? He stands up, pushes his chair back. The wood scraping across the floor there, makes its way out. 2 guards are standing there, or still sitting in their chairs, and the rest around. There are, at this point, over the span of, unless you guys are doing anything, over the span of the next few hours, of course, the guards coming and going, mostly through the street entrance, but they're still pretty loud, so you guys are hearing it, all the way out there. Anybody doing anything as far as through the evening?
So, Ryloth would like to. So can I do one thing? I messed up on my spells. I added the 2 spells of my staff into my prepared spells. So can I prepare 2 more?
Yeah, you have, as long as you have 11 total prepared spells.
It adds in the 2 from my staff. Maybe it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
Okay,
the only ones that should be counting are the ones with the blue suns on them.
Yeah.
So you have 12 prepared, not 11 right now.
Yeah. Nope.
How does the ring of spell storing work exactly? Because I know, I cast the spell, but it goes into it, so it doesn't use a spell slot.
It does use a spell slot when you cast it into the ring, but not when you expend from the ring.
Okay. So would I already have spells in it since I didn't use them, and what spells would be in there? Because I don't think.
You've had it for a while, so I imagine you would. So what would you fairly, not meta-ing that you might be in jail, what would you have put into it to potentially prepare for ahead of time?
Like the Staff of Defense for a few spells. Defenses, I would have probably put Mage Armor as 1, because I don't have it prepared, and then I would probably have put 1 Disguise Self and a Chromatic Orb.
All right. That sounds fair. Those are the kinds of emergency type things that you might need available.
Mm-hmm.
It is. Let's see. So we're up to 5 levels. So Mage Armor level 1, right? Chromatic Orb level 1.
Yeah, Chromatic Orb level 1. And Disguise Self is level 1. So that's 3.
Okay, so 2 more. 2 more levels worth of spells. So it could be a level 2 spell or 2 level 1 spells.
Misty Step.
All right. Oops. If I can type this correctly.
By the way, I could add a note to the ring of spell storing to just know what ones I currently have.
Yep. So for you guys I think you guys have access to this. To the right of an item or a spell or anything else, do you see the looks like a square with a pen or a pencil in the middle of it?
Mm-hmm.
That's an edit button. So when you click that, you'll see the description and then effects, details, etc. Under description, leave it on description, and then when you mouse into the kind of text area, click the pen in the top right corner.
You can edit it?
Editor, yeah, and then just go down to the bottom, Fox, and put in the spells you have there.
Cool. So, Ryloth is going to go away for a while, and he's going to get what he needs to make like a torch and like a flame, like some flint, wherever he has to find that. I'm guessing he's got time, because what he's going to do is it was still morning-ish. He's going to go find.
By the time, when you left the jail, it was probably 1 p.m. So still plenty early.
And how close is there? I know it's a port town. Is this place anywhere near like a big body of water?
Yeah, there's. You're near the ocean. You're on the ocean.
Is this building?
Oh, as far as the building, 2 blocks to the east.
All right, 2 blocks. So, Ryloth's gonna come back. He's gonna use his ring of invisibility to make himself invisible.
Okay.
And he would like to see, let's just say midnight. He would like to see how many guards are inside and around the place.
Okay. Using the ring of invisibility to try to like sneak around and spot, get counts, that kind of stuff. Okay. Give me a stealth check, and then give me an investigation check. Okay. All right. Yeah, you very carefully sneaking around, watching because this is cobblestones everywhere. The streets are cobblestones, so there are very often like small pebbles that have gotten stuck between cobbles, right? Like in the grout areas that are easy to kick around and make noise. So you're being super cautious about walking around and not kicking those stones when you do see them. You feel like you're pretty capably being a sneaky old man, cartoon style, walking on tiptoes and going.
Sure. As I do.
But you kind of peek your head in through the doorway that leads into the barracks area, the one that leads out to the street. And inside, you can see there are eight different soldiers in there, or guards in there, rather. Only one of them is standing up. The others appear to be, if not asleep, at least laying down in their cots with blankets pulled up. The door is wide open. Like they don't seem like they ever closed this barracks door, whereas the door on the other side for the front office is closed now. You can see straight through. It goes on like a longhouse does.
That's a lot of guards.
Yeah, so it looks like there's 8 in there, one of which is awake at the moment. You can't see into the office very far because there's an open archway kind of a door basically. That on the other side of that is where the cells where your friends are, and presumably Yorick. And then straight ahead is where that front door is, and the front door is locked right now.
All right, looks like someone's gonna have to wait till tomorrow to get saved. Yeah, Ryloth is just gonna go find a place to stay for the night and work out what he wants to do. Oh, no, I'm gonna, since I can see through to the cells, I am gonna cast message quietly while I can see. I'll cast it to.
You don't actually have to see it. You just have to be able to point in the direction and know that they're there. So
I'm gonna
you
cast
can
it to
Frost.
I'm gonna say. So, I'm gonna see how things look in the morning, and I'll try to break you guys out. But you need to let everyone be aware, and so be as ready as possible, I suppose. And I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Okay, Frost, you got the message.
No, I'm sorry, I missed that. I apologize.
I'm gonna try to break you out tomorrow. You fucking wake up.
That I got.
Be ready. Be ready. We'll figure something out, and it'll be big. You'll know it when you see it.
There's a scene in Peaky Blinders that this reminded me of. All right, then we'll go ahead and call it there because we're at time.
Good job, guys.
Good job of fucking up every last bit, every possible way that you guys.
Good game. Good game. Thank God this is a one-off.
For real, it's gonna.
Thank God we could just be like, well, we all got hung, but no big deal.
Well, you've got a week to come up with a jailbreak plan that involves basically you guys, not being too necessary inside yourselves, while Ryloth tries to, the least sneaky of you tries to sneak in and break you out. Yeah. So, if you change your mind and try to do it in the middle of the night, that's fine too. Just because we'll pick up here. you.
What
What's that?
happens if they find out that we didn't kill him and we just went in looking for him? And
So I will tell you that you did hear him 2 different times. Callias had mentioned that the magistrate will talk to Eridolf.
Yeah, which I occasionally using some kind of necromancy to talk to a dead person.
That's what you would gather of that, yes. You know that he's dead. At least you assume that body was him, and that is what the guard said, of course. But he did say that the magistrate will speak to Eridolf. They'll get the truth of things, and then, whatever happens in the morning happens.
Right. So we didn't kill him, but we stole his shit.
You still robbed his house, yeah. So
All right, guys.
Well, she still did leave the
I'm
money
gonna
on
go. I gotta go eat some food. You guys hash this out amongst yourselves. Bye, everyone. Hope you have a good week. See you next Saturday.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
yeah, so I mean, you guys can figure out what you want to do with that, but yeah, that's that. You did hear him say that they will talk to Eridolf.
Okay, now question. When they threw us in our cells, I'm assuming because they hadn't checked Dross' pocket for the keys and everything that we still have all of our shit, they just put
Yep.
us in there?
Correct.
Okay.
They didn't do that to Yorick either. They didn't take any of his stuff, remember?
Really?
Yeah, really.
Okay.
Everybody, you guys are still fully geared. You still have all of your things. You're not even, hands are not even bound. You're just locked inside the cells.
Well, that definitely makes things easier. Okay. Well,
So-
in that case, I'm spending the entire night, like, inconspicuously, like, going through the shit that I stole.
just 10 feet away from the guards who were specifically watching you for the things that you stole. Like, they're literally sitting in the chairs right next to you, right on the other side of the bars.
Oh, I didn't realize they were, like, staring at me.
Well, they're not staring at you, but the bars don't block vision. They can see right through it. And you're literally on a cot. Then there's a row of bars, and then there's the chair that one of the guards is sitting in right next to you, like within 5 feet.
Well, I'm like rolled over on my side with my back to the guard with the bag right there, just kind of like barely looking through shit.
And,
Just seeing if there's anything useful.
prison guards never noticed the jingling of glass and things like that when somebody's rolled over trying to hide something. That's good.
Oh, right. I only have a supply.
All right, guys. We will pick up here next week, but we will, just in case you guys change your mind, we won't skip ahead to the morning, so it'll still be about midnight-ish when we start next week.
Okay.
All right, guys. Then I'll talk to you next week.
All right.
Later.
Bye, guys.